in Columbus.
Joe, that ain't good enough. Come on, Joe.
Wait, no. Not this one.
Frizzle left tight, F fly, pass 37 punch, waggle, help, baby dizzy, X fan on the turbo.
Thank you, baby.
Football, man.
It's time to listen to a bald, fat loudmouth
Mr. T-Bone.
and a former football player.
And that ball intercepted by Tyvis pal.
Wow, no radio station has ever done that before.
Does it work for those people?
No, it never does. But it might work for us.
Welcome to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Oh, yeah. Happy Tuesday. Welcome in. I'm T-Bone. He's Tyvis. Good morning. Tyvis, how are you?
You know what? I am doing unbelievable. It was a big moment yesterday in the Powell's residence.
What happened?
So, my youngest daughter's 3, and we might be starting her in preschool soon. Like, maybe this year.
Okay.
Because I think that's what we did with our oldest. We started her at 3. But anyways, we have to potty train her.
Oh, yeah. You can't go to preschool. The potty training thing is significant.
I don't even think you can send them in diapers.
No. I know for a fact, at least the preschools we've done, now we've been through it 3 times. It's like they send you letters like, excuse me, your child had an accident 2 more times, gone. Like, there's a 3 strikes and you're out process at a lot of these preschools where it's like they understand little kids will have a little accident here and there, but they're not going to tolerate it more than a couple times, and then it's see you later.
So we've been like just slowly trying to get her to pee on the potty. And yesterday she did it. She did it 3 times.
Oh,
yesterday.
It's a big deal when you feel that.
And it was just like, it was a huge celebration. I said, if you continue to do this, you know, you going to save your father some money because I don't have to go buy diapers.
Oh, getting out of the diaper world is just such a great thing for a parent. It is.
And you know what's gonna happen?
It's almost up there with no more bottles.
You know what's going to happen? We going to get her out of there, and then boom, my wife's going to say, yeah, I'm pregnant again.
Oh, see. No,
let's just start it all over.
Listen, I'm going to introduce you to my friend, Mr. Vasectomy. You can get that taken care of, and then you don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't know what your family situation is. For us, 3 was plenty. And I'm just telling you, you guys are still playing man-to-man right now. You switch to zone, it's a whole new ball game, buddy. You know that. Like, I'm just saying, going from 2 to 3, that is the jump. It's a huge jump.
They say after 3, like, it's not.
Oh, after 3, yeah.
It's not bad after that. Like, you do 4, like, it's nothing. After
3, it's like, oh, did one of them just run into traffic? Oh, well, we got 18 other ones over here. Like, you're just not even paying as much attention. You're just kind of busy. You're like, I'm generally aware of my children. But, like, when you have 1 or 2, you're, like, specifically aware. Yeah. 3, it's just kind of like, I don't know where the other one is. Like, you both look at each other sometimes like, what's the oldest doing? Well, where's the middle one? Like, you don't know.
They used to tell me, like, Bobby. Actually, Bobby was the first one to say, he said, you know what? Nobody does 3. You know, you got to do either 2 or 4. Like, there is no in between.
Nobody does it.
And I looked at him. He started naming everybody. And I'm like, huh.
No, there's lots of 3s.
2 or 4.
No, there's lots of 3s. Three's
I'm
fine.
one of 3. So that's why I was looking at him like, what? And he was like, no.
I have 3.
2 or 4. And I'm like, well, I don't think I'm going for unless I hit the lotto. I ain't going for 4.
Bodie, you're part of it's just you and a sister, right? Is that it?
That's correct. Yeah.
And see, I'm just one brother, and then
so you too.
Yeah, but now we have. And see, I think it's because all these parents are chickens. That's what I think.
See,
it is.
my wife is of 2. It's her and her brother.
Yeah, I think all the parents got to 2, and they're like, oh no.
A lot of people do that, especially. The thing is, if you get a boy and a girl, it's like done. Like, I'm done.
There's that. We having 3 though. We did that solely because of my love for Dale Earnhardt. That's why we did that. I just wanted to, raise hell, praise Dale. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all we did. That's why we had the 3rd kid.
One of my greatest childhood memories, Bone. I used to go to Bristol every August with my dad and some of his buddies.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know you were a NASCAR attender.
I loved NASCAR as a kid.
Look at that.
Kind of grew out of it a little bit.
Yeah,
but
that's
fine. I remember vividly there was, people tailgating and whatnot. And NASCAR is pretty, let's call it what it is. It's more of a redneck sport.
Yeah,
with all due respect.
I think that's fair.
If you like it, that's cool, man.
I think they acknowledge that pretty heavily now, yeah.
And so at one of the tailgates, there was a sign, and it said, we hate the 24, which is Jeff Gordon, or was.
Yeah.
We miss the number 3. Now show us your tits. And I was like, nice, man. I remember I couldn't have been, I don't know, 9 or 10 when I saw that. I was like, that's great.
Cody, it's too early for that.
Let's get some boys.
That's funny. 'Cause that's actually what Fish, our program director, Matt Fishman, that's what he has on his car. It's the car flag he has. It's that specific thing. He drives in. It's great.
Man, I thought I was bad.
It's bird watching. It's talking about a tufted titmouse. That's all they're talking about. What's wrong with that? It's just bird watching.
I was feeling guilty as a kid for watching Jerry Springer.
Oh, why would you feel guilty about that? Yeah, R.I.P. Rest in power, King.
They came for their beads.
Well, I mean, on Jerry Springer? What was wrong with watching Jerry Springer?
As a kid?
I mean, yes, but it's not like you looked at it and said, oh, that's how families should be. You looked at it and went, this is crazy. Yeah. This is nuts. It's interesting. It's a show.
I'm like 5 years old.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like you were in high school or something.
No. I'm talking like 5, 6 years old. Okay, because what happened was my mother and father would work. So like what they would do is they would drop me off at my grandparents' house before they went to work.
Okay.
And my grandparents, this is back with antenna days.
Oh yeah, you only got
it's like 7 channels. And the channel that they would watch would have Jerry Springer, Maury, Judge Judy, Judge Brown. Like, that was it. That was the channel they watched. So, like, when I'd be sitting there in the kitchen, I'd just be sitting there watching Jerry Springer because that's what they was watching.
It was a good show when they would go to commercial break. And for those who didn't get to watch those shows back in the day, like, my favorite thing, other than the insanity that would sometimes ensue where it's like, coming back, Peggy Sue's boyfriend, who's also dating her mom, will break the news. Yes. You're like, okay, I'm going to sit here and watch it. But then they would go to commercial and be like, are you a mailman who also has sex with your car? Give us a call.
Oh,
and it's like, and a month later, they'd be like, it's the mailman car sex episode. You're like, what? How do they find 10 people who do that
exactly
who would go on TV and talk about it? In front of all the other people.
Those would be the same people attending the NASCAR races.
Oh, my gosh, Bodie. The fact that you went to Bristol, tell me as a kid, you probably got a full anatomy lesson at some point because I know you saw naked man ass.
Well,
you probably saw some full frontal male.
You'd see anything
and then you definitely would see tops of women.
South, regardless.
Yeah.
Then you go to a NASCAR race down there.
A lot of nudity. Surprising amounts of nudity at a NASCAR tailgate is what I'm going to say. That's all. It's not like a strip club or anything, but it's just you see more naked people than you'd think at a NASCAR race. I'm saying like 4 or 5.
T-Bone, do you know it was a point of time where all parents had to explain to children what just happened. It was called the Super Bowl with Carolina and the Patriots, where Justin Timberlake pulled out Janet Jackson's
upper half.
Area,
the boob,
and everybody had to. Every kid saw that, and it was so big. Now I was like, oh wow, I was like, oh wow, it was one of those moments.
I still can't believe they try to play that off as an accident.
No, that wasn't no accident.
What are you talking about? You had a thing on there. Also, the fact that we turned that into a national emergency where it was like politicians who control things were like, we must put a stop to this lewd and lascivious thing. And it's like, I don't want my kids necessarily seeing nudity on TV. However, it was a split second. Everyone almost went, huh? Did I actually see that?
It was that moment.
And then it moved on.
Yes.
Right.
But it's now the world is on a delay now.
I know. Yes, and that's right. That's why they now have all the. That's
16
why we have
16-second delay or something like that.
Because that way they can dump out of that if they have to. There's literally a built-in delay. You can get out of it. All I'm saying is it struck me because I was a little older than you when that happened, and I thought, so that we're not allowed to see. And I was very disappointed in that America took that turn. But then it's like, coming up next on the news, 8,000 people died in a bombing, and we're going to show you like raw footage of it. It's like, that seems also like maybe the kids shouldn't see that. That seems bad. Why are we showing that on the news? And then it's like, well, Janet Jackson, half of her boob was out for a split second.
It would have.
Stop the presses. Let's fire everyone. Well, anyway, here's a bunch of decapitated people from a story you don't even care about in a city you don't live in. And it's like, great. Thanks for showing that on the local news. I don't know. That seemed like maybe we should monitor both. I'm just saying. Maybe have a little sensitivity to both of those things.
I agree with you on that one. However, I don't know. Maybe they felt it was educational. They thought the
death?
The bombing is educational. Maybe that's how they. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with an answer.
No, there's no. The answer is people are dumb. That's the answer. Society is stupid and inconsistent. That's what the answer is. All right. I have a story. Well, you know what? We'll get to some sports because I found out the Pac-12 is not dead. So we will talk about that. And if that gets boring, then I have a story about donuts in Ohio. All right. So I'm just promising some sports and some food. That's coming up next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Noticing a lot more people heading out on the roads this morning as you step out the door. Taking a closer look at folks over on the west side. Noticing a little bit more of a slowdown on 70 eastbound heading into the city this morning. So taking a closer look at our traffic cam 70 at east of State Route 142. Again, looking a little bit restrictive with those lane closures going on there. Ongoing construction projects that have been going on for quite a while now. We do have construction crew members in the area, so make sure to take it nice and easy for them this morning. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
There's a new way to surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle and Market District. Shop Giant Eagle's uncompromising quality at a reliable price with everyday savings. Look for signs throughout the store to find bargains on produce, meat, and more. Visit Giant Eagle to see how easy it is to save.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here to help keep you on the road so you can soak up all the summer fun. The road tunes.
Take me out to the ball game.
Hotel pools. Emergency ice cream stops. The sunscreen and bug spray everywhere.
It's in my eyes.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here for it all. So stop in for a quick oil change before you go. Only takes about 15 minutes. No appointment needed.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Get ready to rock. Soft, that is. Nationwide Picnic with the Pops presents Yacht Rock Symphony, Saturday, June 28th, featuring all your favorite 70s and 80s super yacht rock hits on one stage with Ambrosia.
You're the biggest part of me.
Joined by John Ford Coley.
And I'd really love to see it tonight.
And Peter Beckett, the voice of Player. Don't miss this incredible night of hits, ending with a brilliant display of fireworks. June 28th at the Columbus Commons. For tickets, visit picnicwiththepops.com.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
He opens his toolbox before he opens his wallet and believes you can fix anything with 20 minutes and some pride. He's Mr. DIY, and when he needs metal, he goes to metal supermarkets. Artists, hobbyists, machine shops, maintenance professionals, and welders all count on metal supermarkets for over 8,000 metal products, shapes, and grades. If it's metal, they've got it or can get it for you. Cut to any size and ready fast. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Hello, big voice guy here. I've been hired to tell you all about the Fan's YouTube channel. Did you know you can immerse yourself in Buckeye goodness like Austin and Berm's daily podcast, The Beat? Yes, sirree, Bob. Subscribe today.
Does heel pain make you hobble just getting out of bed in the morning? If heel pain is affecting your ability to exercise and meet your walking or running goals, relief is as close as your local podiatrist. Podiatric physicians are highly trained doctors who specialize in medical and surgical treatment of the foot and ankle. Ohio Foot and Ankle podiatric physicians are available across the state and are devoted to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care.
For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Temperatures starting off going to be in the mid to upper 70s, and then enjoy it this afternoon. We are yet again in the mid to upper 90s across central Ohio, with our feels like in the lower triple digits. Down into the 70s again tonight, and then we will see sunshine again for tomorrow. Temperatures in the mid to low 90s, but still dangerous heat as our feels like right around 100 degrees, with chances of showers and storms developing later in the day. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The next time Tyvis hits a home run in softball will be the first time Tyvis hits a home run in softball. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Speaking of softball, you could get a free ticket to go to see Cardale and Tyvis and a bunch of other Buckeyes hitting softballs at the annual Cardale Jones charity softball game. That's at Huntington Park on July 19th. How do you get a free ticket? Well, this Friday, Rothman and Ice are going to be out for the 2025 Beat the Heat fan drive. They will be at Westerville Fire Station at the Westerville Fire Station at 400 West Main Street, I presume in Westerville. And they're going to be asking you to bring a fan for people in need, your neighbors. Help them out. It's obviously very hot out there. So bring a new box fan to donate. And as a thank you, the first 100 people who drop off a fan will get a pair of tickets to the Cardale Jones charity softball game. Isn't that nice? So help out Central Ohio today. Stay cool this summer. It's the Beat the Heat fan drive in partnership with 10 TV, Life Care Alliance, and the Fan Ohio Sports Destination. That is Friday in Westerville, Rothman and Ice. All the details, 971thefan.com. No pun intended on 971 The Fan, getting fans for people who need them this time of year.
Thank you for clearing that.
I'm trying to do it. I just want to make sure we're clear. The YouTube chat, by the way, we mentioned the Janet Jackson Nipplegate thing that happened during the Super Bowl.
Is that what they call it?
I think they did. I think that's what it was. It's not. I think that's what. I could be wrong. Nate brought up the point, though, because I was saying how that was such a big deal at the time, and it's like, yeah, but was it? In the grand scheme of things, Nate said when we were kids, our parents could care less how much blood and death was in a movie. But if there was a sex scene, we were turning the movie off and burning it. Glad to know I'm not the only one that had that experience. I don't know.
It wasn't a turning at all. For me, it was turn your head.
Oh, yeah. Cover your eyes. Don't look at that. Yeah, that's exactly right. I've always found that fascinating, too, because presumably in life, even though, yes, I understand wanting to protect kids from lots of things. That's why they have rating systems on movies. Like at some point, like children are going to grow up to be adults, and they're presumably going to engage in activities, right? Like that's part of growing up. Is eventually you may have sex, you will have sex, probably, right? Mm-hmm. Very few of us are ever going to like bomb Crimea, and yet that's what we're okay with showing on the news. But like, you can't even hint at the fact that like sex may be a thing. That's all I'm saying.
Kids play Grand Theft Auto. They play Call of Duty. So it's like
that's true.
They want
to ban those. The Grand Theft Auto. They used to have people out in the streets petitioning like you can't let kids see this. And I get it,
but it was
GTA goes a little crazy.
The game was so fun. Like how could you? Like not.
Also, I've never been a person that thinks if you do it in a video game, you're going to do it in real life.
I agree.
Like, the amount of people I've run over in Grand Theft Auto on the sidewalk with a car is criminal. I mean, it's
was just trying to be most wanted on the. You trying to get the 5 stars.
Sure. Yeah. Never once have I done that in real life. I want to be very clear. I don't run people over.
That's like I play Call of Duty, but that wouldn't qualify me to go to war.
No, it shouldn't.
I think if I did what I did in Call of Duty, oh man, I wouldn't make it.
I could just see Tyvis Powell, commando.
I'll be out there on Rambo just in front of the whole team.
Yeah,
just running out in front of people.
Leroy Jenkins over here. Yeah, that's right. Good for you, Tyvis. That's you know what? Someday, if the world ever falls apart, I'm going to find you, and you're going to lead us to freedom. You're going to help us out.
I got you.
Yeah, I'll come to your house.
Just get behind me. We good.
Well, you and Cardale will have all the trucks. I know that. Cardale's got trucks, so we can do that. CBS Sports and the Pac-12 have extended their partnership with CBS, trying to become the primary partner. They essentially want to be the new TV home for the Pac-12, to which I read that headline and said, I didn't know the Pac-12 was still technically a thing. I guess I knew that, Oregon State and Washington State, they're the two that didn't get picked up by anybody when all the Pac-12 got dissected and pulled apart.
Yes.
I knew they had kept some of the Pac-12 stuff around, but I didn't know how they really believed in it. Like, I didn't know
Did they
thought
actually broadcast their games last year?
I think someone had to have put them on somewhere, at least a few of them, right?
Where you gonna go?
Well, yeah, that's right. I guess.
Who got the CW? Is that ACC?
ACC's on there. But it probably didn't cost anybody to just say, let's throw 5 of their games on. Send some cameras out to Oregon State, you know?
Who? Yeah, who?
Well, I don't know. Someone did. I'm
those
trying to think
time
of who
slots is pretty, they're taken.
Who did Oregon State even play last year? Right? Like, I don't know what their football schedule was. But this year, what I do know is
they probably played a bunch of Mountain West teams, because that's all the Pac-12 is now. Is the Mountain West.
The current Pac-12 as it is: Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, Gonzaga, San Diego State, and Utah State. And now they're getting a television deal for 2026. I guess is when this will start. It'll run through 2031. So is
there any team in there that you you looking to watch on Saturday?
Oh, are you kidding me? Boise State. I mean, I guess that's the one that you'd probably go to if you really, I don't know. Like, this deal for me is basically if I was bored on a Saturday night and I'd watched so much college football that I'm like, well, let's just keep it going. Yeah, this is your 10 p.m. slot where the other game, the primetime game is kind of crappy. I'll flip this on then. Maybe for a half before I go to bed. I'm not going to be planning my weekend around any of these matchups.
So technically this season is still the Pac-2, and then 26 is when the other ones come, right?
I don't even know. This is bad enough. I should know. Bodie, is the Pac-12 actually a thing now, or do these teams, they've all joined, right? These teams have?
I think they join next year.
Oh, okay. So we haven't even started it yet.
So it's still a two-team
still
conference.
2-pack. Yep.
This is
That's bad, man. It's so bad that the Pac-12 has become this, right? Where it's the Pac-12, and I understand the Big Ten is a big reason why the Pac-12 isn't a thing anymore. But
you think?
Yeah, I get it. I'm fully acknowledging that's what happened. But also, at some point, I guess you got to keep up with what college football is, and you got to build your conference out to be something. If you're not making it stronger, which Pac-12, their TV deal they did when they were a conference, the one where they said, no, we're going to do all the production in-house. Like, they had a Big Ten network, Pac-12 network.
Yeah.
Big Ten network is run by Fox. Fox pays for it. Fox does most of the production value of it. You work for Big Ten network. I'm sure you've talked with Fox people before, right? There's some Fox level executives at all points of Big Ten network.
Yes.
Pac-12 network was like, no thanks, TV networks. We'll do it all ourselves. And then we'll package it and sell it to you. And that almost bankrupted the whole damn thing because it was so expensive to run. They had no idea what they were doing. And honestly, I believe that's one of the main reasons why the Pac-12 doesn't exist now, other than the Big Ten poaching their 4 best schools. But that also had a huge thing to do with it.
It started off with just 2, and then the other 2 wanted to leave. So, what are we gonna do? Say no?
No, I mean, I get it. I'm not we. The Big Ten exists thanks to Ohio State in large part being awesome, Michigan being a great school for a while, and then everybody else is just thanks for playing. Like, I'm just saying, so for me, I don't feel loyalty to the Big Ten as an Ohio State fan. The Big Ten should be thrilled they have Ohio State. That's how I look at it. So I'm not saying the Big Ten does everything right. They certainly don't. But yeah, I'm with you. If UCLA and USC wanted to come join, well, we going to turn them down?
Hey.
When you got the SEC adding Texas and Oklahoma, yeah, of course. We're probably going to make that.
And now you got everybody complaining about the travel schedules.
Well, you know what? I don't get that complaint when it comes to football. I do a little bit here when it comes to women's volleyball. Or like some of the other sports where it's like there's not as many carve-outs for those sports because it's not as big of a deal as football or basketball necessarily.
Well, the difference is like in volleyball, like you can have 2-3 matches in a week, to where football is one day. You travel for one day. So
yeah, well, basketball is that way too, where you have at least that's why all the basketball teams now in the Big Ten, they typically go out to LA and play USC and UCLA at the same time, right? Because it's like, well, if we're going all the way over there, we're not going to fly back. We're just going to stay there, get both those knocked out, and be done. And I kind of understand that. Then, I mean, it's the business of college athletics right now. At some point, I do think it makes sense for college football to separate, and maybe big-time college basketball to separate from the other sports because, I don't know that it makes sense for a lacrosse team to do the same travel schedule or whatever. Like baseball is a little different, isn't it? Where you're playing so many games a week and you got to travel. Yeah, it's just – I think there's a reasonable discussion to be had there. But regardless of that, the Pac-12 now exists and will be on TV soon, and probably no one will watch it. And I can't believe this deal is for anything more than north of like $2 million a school, $5 million a school. I'd be shocked. Like, there can't be any good money in this, right?
I'm really looking to see what team, like, I'm up here trying to make the case for San Diego State, Fresno State.
No, I mean, they have their moments. They'll have a player you might want to watch here or there. There'll be a stud quarterback on two of those teams every year that you'll say, oh, that guy could be a decent pick, that you might tune in to watch one of his games. But no, like as far as impacting the college football playoffs,
let me ask,
maybe once every 10 years.
I don't know if you have the answer to this question, but when Boise joins the Pac-12, the way, I guess they're going to change the way that, I guess so they are including them in the 5 conference champions?
Oh, I don't know.
Or is it just the 4 and they're in part of the group of 5?
This is all with the playoff discussion. From what I understand, when they're talking about the 5 auto bids, I was under the impression that was the 4 conferences that we all know exist. And then the group of 5, best group of 5 was an auto bid. That was my
technically it's just the highest ranked 5 conference champions. Now, that's basically always going to be the 4 Power 4 conferences and then the highest next. But hypothetically, if it was like the Big Ten winner, SEC winner, ACC winner, and then the next 2 highest rated or highest ranked conference champs were Miami, Ohio in the MAC and Oregon State in the Pac-12. Technically, those would be the 2 get it over the Big 12.
But that's
almost never
rarely or if ever going to happen. Okay. So, that's what I was kind of assuming then is that line of thinking is it'll be the Power 4 and a group of 5 is mostly how that's going to go.
Or Northern Illinois. Maybe I should have said them.
The Salukis. That's right. All right. I still have a donut story. I will get to that right after we do Clip That. That's coming up next where we're going to talk about a Michigan man making his way in the NFL. And it doesn't sound like it's growing great. That's coming up next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and happy Tuesday. Still not noticing any accidents to report at this hour, so we do want to let you know about an important road closure happening just into the downtown area. Short Street between Mound Street and Liberty Street has been closed since yesterday and will be closed until 5 p.m. today. So a great northbound detour if you kind of want to avoid this area. Take Liberty Street to Front Street, then hop on down to Sycamore Street, head east, and then hop on High Street, head north that way. That will take you to Mound Street. Should be a little bit easier as you make your way into the city. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina. It's boat season at Buckeye Lake Marina. Largest new and used boat inventory in the 3-county region. Details and more at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
Evan Cohen here. When you're on a business trip, you know what goes completely off the rails? Your workout routine, especially when you book a hotel that doesn't have a gym. Then you have to squeeze in between the desk and your bed, eke out 2 push-ups, and call it a day. If you just stay at La Quinta by Wyndham, you'll discover their fully equipped fitness center at every location. Now you can wake up and do some weightlifting to prepare you to carry your team on your back all day. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book direct at lq.com.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlog projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas!
Then it's off to Rome,
Georgia!
And you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio!
Right now, save up to $494 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Listen to that! Son of a... That's unbelievable! Oh my goodness! Holy smoke! Just incredible!
T-Bone and Tyvis present Clip That.
Sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. Receive a 100% match when you deposit up to $400 with the Prime Sports Ohio app.
Yesterday on ESPN, Dan Graziano was being asked about the progress young J.J. McCarthy, who missed all of last year, former Michigan quarterback. How's he doing with the Minnesota Vikings? And this was his answer.
Yeah, he looks the way they would expect him to look at this point in his developmental process. And that's the key thing to understand, the process. That Adam Schefter says there's nobody under more pressure, but they don't want him to focus on the pressure he's under. They want him to focus on the process. Is he ready to start right now? Probably not. Can he be the first weekend in September? The Vikings believe that he can. He's been working on detail stuff, fundamental stuff. Remember, he lost last year due to injury, so that's a year of development he didn't get. Working on altering the trajectory of some of his throws. So that's been a lot of what the offseason has been like, a lot of learning, a lot of putting, the lessons into practice for J.J. McCarthy. Kevin O'Connell would have told you this time last year that Sam Darnold wasn't ready yet to be their starter, but he believed he could get him there by the first weekend in September, and he did, obviously. So they believe the same thing about J.J. McCarthy. They believe in their process. They think he'll be ready.
All right. Great. Tyvis, how do you feel about J.J. McCarthy before I just lay waste to what he's, I think, going to be? What do you think? You watch a lot more football. You know football better than anyone here. What do you think?
I mean, I think J.J. McCarthy has moments where he looks like a really good quarterback. I think he's made some really good decisions. He's made some big-time throws. However, I don't necessarily think like he was ready for the NFL, but I do have a ton of love and respect for Kevin O'Connell as a coach and as a play caller. And I think he does a great job of putting people in the best situations to thrive. There's been so many quarterbacks over the handful of years that he's been there where he's made them look really, really good. And I think the same thing will happen for J.J. McCarthy. I think that if he would have went anywhere else in the league, it wouldn't have been great for him. But I think him going to Minnesota and them running a similar offense to what he ran up north, I think that's going to help him at least be a decent quarterback in the league.
They have weapons. I agree with you there. I do think that if it happens that Kevin O'Connell gets him to be something similar, if he has a similar year and the Vikings have a decent year, I don't know if they're going to go 14-3 again, right? But if they win 10, 12 games and he's effective as a quarterback, then I think we probably have to have that discussion that maybe like that how Kyle Shanahan was like a few years ago, has been with the Niners, where it's like it doesn't matter who quarterback is, like you're going to have a good offense. That's where I feel like we'll have to have that discussion, right? Yeah. Kevin O'Connell, and maybe we're already there, but I just am personally looking at J.J. McCarthy. The upside I see for him is he's 6'3", 220 pounds. That's it. And you know what? I'll give him that he's a winner. Like that I will give him, that he has won some big games for them. They obviously won a national championship at Michigan. But when I tell you, and I don't think I'm breaking news to any Buckeye fans, how many times do you watch this dude play for Michigan and go, there's nothing there? Like the plays where they would be like, what a throw by J.J. McCarthy. The guy would be wide open 20 yards downfield. And especially in the games where we had to watch that happen multiple times, it would be because coverage was completely busted. The play call was maybe it wasn't busted. Maybe it was they knew what defense we were running and threw the exact play call out there that would thwart that defense. But either way, I would watch his receivers stand there, get a sip of lemonade, check their watch, and then catch the football while still too many defenders were out of position. That wasn't great throws. It was your coaches cheated, and you were kind of able to deliver the ball eventually on time, I guess. Like that, in the NFL, tell me how that's going to happen with him. I don't see it.
Well, that's not. if he's late on any throw, it's good. It's getting picked off.
It's going the other way.
Let me tell you that now. But that's what they're talking about. They say he has to work on his trajectory of his ball. He has to work on his timing and all those things. And it was unfortunate that he got hurt last year because he really probably needed that development. Now, again, he's got the safety blanket of having Jay Jettas or Justin Jefferson, as y'all know him, who goes up and makes spectacular plays. I mean, he made Sam Darnold look really good. He got Sam Darnold paid last year. So that is going to help. I won't say JJ had some throws. I remember the one throw, I think it might have been a touchdown. He threw the little over route where he threw it right behind the linebacker, and it was a dime. He dropped it right in the bucket. If he make throws like that consistently,
a broken clock is right twice a day. I'm just saying. I'm not saying he can't play any quarterback.
Well, you
I'm
gotta
saying
at least see it once.
But in college, if you are barely ever making those throws, I don't know how that translates into you are the guy in the NFL. Like, I think the only hope for him is if the Vikings just offensively are that good, like we've seen. With the Niners, where it's like you can plug in a few different quarterbacks, not to take away from any of those guys that play quarterback for the Niners, but the offensive scheme has been so good for so many years. Maybe that is starting to end, but I just feel like that's the hope for if you're a Vikings fan. I don't think he's got much as far as being an elite quarterback in the NFL. No way.
JJ's problem is nobody's seen it. It's never been a game where they're down by 14 and he literally threw them back into the game. Nope. Like, that wasn't the case. They were a heavy run team at the team up north and just play action off of that. And he had like little over routes. It wasn't like he was just spraying the ball down the field. He threw like little 10-yard digs and little over routes and things like that. So when you talk about in the NFL, nobody's seen him do that yet. Nobody's seen him where, all right, the Vikings is down 14, and the only way we coming back is you got to stand back there and deliver this ball for, 2 quarters.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he could do it because we've never seen it before. And that's where the problem occurs with him. So for him, he has to lean heavily on that run game. Hope Aaron Jones is still got some youth in him. I know he's getting up there in age. Have some youth, be able to be successful in that. And they have to keep him, running bang eights, over routes to the tight end, stuff of dig routes to Justin Jefferson. Like those things. You got to keep him in that world.
Yeah.
And I think if you want to beat the Vikings, the best thing to do is go up 14 points and make him play quarterback. Like, I think that's the only way you're going to beat him.
I think that's a good strategy with any team. Just go up 14 points and see what. I'd like the Browns to start doing that every week. That'd be awesome. I saw this, and I've been teasing it for the last couple segments. Zanesville, Ohio, which is just, not that far away. Zanesville apparently is the home of the greatest donut shop in the country, according to the readers of USA Today. They had their USA Today's 10 Best Reader's Choice Awards, and they asked for people to name their best donut shops. Now, I don't have the list of all the other donut shops, but apparently the one that made it from Ohio is Donald's Donuts. Donald's Delicious Donuts was ranked the #1 donut shop in America by USA Today readers.
And that's in Zanesville.
Yeah. It's been around since 1960. They said that so many people have showed up over the last few weeks because I guess whenever this poll came out, a lot of people then were like, oh, great, I got to go try them.
Mm-hmm.
They said they've been selling out of their donuts by 10:30 in the morning. They've had to hire additional staff to keep the bakery going to like produce more donuts because people want these things. Now, I took a look at them. Obviously, looks aren't everything. They look delicious. I would definitely try some Donald's donuts. If you've had them, please let me know. You can either hop in the YouTube chat, go to 971 on YouTube, 971 The Fan, click on T-Bone and Tyvis, get in there, or at Bone and Tyvis 971. I'd like to know if you've had those donuts, if they're good. Are they worth the drive? Because, I mean, I will drive for a donut. I'm not going to lie. I've driven out to Dayton for Bill's Donuts in Dayton.
How far is Zanesville? Like 40 minutes from here?
It depends on where you are in Columbus. Like from downtown, it's probably a solid hour, I would guess. But all I'm saying is I'll drive for donuts if they are actually as good as everyone says. I've driven for Bill's Donuts out in Dayton. I like those. To me, the best donut I've ever had still is a Jolly Pirate donut. And there's only a couple locations, I think, left of Jolly Pirate. There used to be a bunch of them. The one in Grove City, I know, still does it right, and they always have great donuts. So that, for me, is the spot. But I like a cake donut. So if we're talking like the cake donuts are great.
You're going too far.
Why?
That's like too first of all, having a donut is not the greatest decision healthy wise. And then you add cake on it, like that's.
Listen, it's not adding cake on it. It's the structure of the donut. It's made of cake. It is all cake. That's what they say about me, Tyvis, and you. All cake. That's what they say you got going on back there. Yeah. Mike Doss is jealous of your cake. That's what I heard. Let us know, because I want to. Would you go out there to Zanesville with me and go try a donut, or maybe get a 12-pack and we'll just we'll split it on the way back, 6 and 6?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I'd have to not eat lunch or something.
Oh, it'll sit there with you,
so I can I got to spread those calories out. But yes.
How do you feel about a cream-filled donut?
I don't really care.
No? I'm not talking to custard. Custard-filled donuts can go to hell. I hate those donuts. If I take a bite of one and it's got the pudding inside of it, I'm just like, get it out of my face.
Yeah.
But if it's got that light, like frosting, almost like just airy cream in it, I'll eat that. I'll eat a box of those.
What about a jelly donut?
I'm like, take it or leave it. It depends on the day. I really have never gotten into jelly donuts, but I've had them a few times and been like, yeah, they're fine. I don't need the powdered jelly donuts because then it's just like.
Just give me the icing. Just give me the strawberry icing.
Really? That's what you like?
Strawberry or what's the other one called? What's the brown one?
Chocolate?
No, not chocolate.
Caramel?
No.
Maple?
Maple.
Okay,
there it is.
All right, yeah, maple donuts are good. I'm with you on that. Maple underrated.
It is.
Get more with that.
They put some more respect on it.
All right, coming up next, Morning Wood. We get some questions about what we would or would not do from Bodie Wells. That's in just a few minutes. Morning Wood next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. We are still closely monitoring a crash for folks over on the east side. This one happening 270 northbound, just past 70 and right before Livingston Avenue. That's the area we're talking about there. Expect some lane closures. So taking a closer look at our cameras, 270 and 70 again over on the east side. We are noticing that our right lane is blocked as police are still on scene monitoring the situation. Congestion kind of depends on how many cars are coming through depending on the time, but just expect some slowdowns and be extra cautious on the roadways as police are still on scene. I'm 10 TV's Brina Albizu with your fan traffic.
Your neighborhood Kroger Pharmacy is happy to welcome back Express Scripts Medicare D and TRICARE Department of Defense Plan members. It's easy to transfer prescriptions at Kroger.com/payer update. See your Kroger Pharmacy for details.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
10 West Broad, Columbus. CordellCordell.com.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place. Leslie, what's that hot lamp against your window for?
Pella windows are tested up to 160 degrees, Wilson, to ensure efficiency and the lowest energy bills possible, even in the craziest of temperatures. Put your hand on there.
All right. God, that's hot.
On the window, Wilson.
Oh, hey, that is quite nice and cool. So I'm going to go grab some ice now.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rated #1 for innovation at PellaColumbus.com.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't let bad feet stop you from being active and getting healthy this year. Trade in your bad feet for good feet at the Good Feet store.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings because you're driving to Paris,
Texas.
Then it's off to Rome,
Georgia.
And you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio.
Right now, save up to $494 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Receive a 100% match when you deposit up to $400. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Just a reminder, Tyvis thinks all pizza tastes the same. Also a reminder, Tyvis was born without taste buds. You're listening to Bone and Tyvis.
We asked a question about donuts. Donald's Donuts in Zanesville apparently was rated by USA Today as the best donut shop in America. I'm getting a lot of people on the YouTube chat saying it's worth the drive. Heath says, I live in Zanesville. Donald's Donuts are very good. Ian says Donald's is worth the drive. Stamer, whatever. He says Donald's is really good. All right. So we're getting good reviews there. We may have to go do it, Tyvis.
I'm looking at it.
Let's do it today, right after the show.
No.
Oh, wait, you have to drive to Cleveland.
Currently, if we left right now, it's a 59-minute drive.
I told you it's about an hour. I mean, I'm in to go. I'm just saying it might take a few days.
It won't be today.
Yeah,
because Tyvis is going the other way.
I know. Ian says the Maple Long John from Donald's is a must. See, now again, Long John, Maple, I'm in. That sounds great. How could it be bad?
This is sad.
Why is it sad?
Because we have to eat this, and now all I'm gonna think about is the workouts that I'm gonna have to do.
It's sad. It's sad for me because all I can think about is how I'm not eating one right now, and it's gonna be a while till I can get there. But I'm gonna get out there and try it. Maybe I will go after the show. Maybe I'll just go without you. I'll just go get it myself. Then you won't have to worry about working out, and I can tell you that it's good, and you'll believe me because I'll be right.
I'm going the other way.
I know you are. You got to go up to Cleveland today. All right, it's Morning Wood time. Let's do it.
It's good to know where you stand on the important issues. Oh, my. This is Morning Wood.
Bodie, take it away.
All right, fellas. It seems inevitable that the NBA will be expanding from 30 to 32 teams here in the near future. We know the Supersonics are expected to go back to Seattle. They'll be pumped about that. I know, Bone, you will also be pumped about that.
Yeah.
And it seems like Las Vegas is going to get a team. If it were up to you guys, what would be the nickname and the color scheme for the new team in Sin City?
Man, the nickname is the heart. I think I would stick with the black and gray because I feel like that's just what Vegas is doing with the Aces, the Raiders. I think I just kind of stick to that scheme.
They have black and gold for the Knights, their hockey team. But still, you're right. They've got that theme of like having a lot of black in the uniform. That's fair.
Yeah. And the name, I don't know. Jackpots.
Yeah, like the umpire from the Mets game with Noah Syndergaard. Our ass is in the jackpot.
Las
That's
Vegas
right.
Jackpots.
I'll tell you what. I like your idea of having like black in the uniform, but I'll go this route. You know those City Connect, or not City Connect, whatever the NBA calls their like alternate jerseys. Where the Heat had those like teal and light blue jerseys that they've done before.
The South Beach jersey.
Yeah,
The Miami Vice, right?
Yeah, I think something like that for Vegas would work. Like black and then like a hot pink or either a hot pink and a light blue or maybe a teal and a light blue.
That'd be nice.
Teal and pink, something like that. I think those would be good. I will go with the Las Vegas David Copperfields for a reference that'll be great. Hopefully they disappear just like go ahead. What's next,
guys?
buddy?
We'll stay with the NBA here. If you had to pick one or the other, talking about Kevin Durant going to the Houston Rockets, do you think he helps them get to at least the conference finals, or they get bounced in the first round again? You think basically can he get them kind of, we'll say, over the hump, maybe not NBA title, but close to, or does he not make that big of a difference?
No, I think he gets them over the hump. I think if they were the number 2 seed, they took the Warriors to 7 games this year, and they didn't even have a true superstar. And I think he fills all the voids that they had this season. A guy that you could get the ball to in the fourth quarter to close the game. A guy that can hit the mid-range shot consistently. A guy that's a baller. Like, they just didn't have that guy consistently, and I think he does that. And you put in all the pieces that's around him. I think they're good pieces. I think they can make it to the conference final.
I will not stand for Alperen Şengün erasure. How dare you?
What?
That's a star right there. Star in the make.
Say, I love saying. I told you he's like
Jokic yesterday.
He's like baby. He like a baby Joker.
Today he's not even a superstar. No, I agree with you.
He's a star in the making.
I think KD is the guy. You're right. They need a little bit of KD just showing him how it's done. Now, obviously, he has to stay healthy, but yeah, I think KD, if he's healthy and gives them what he is capable of at this age, even. Yeah, they're going to be a much better team. They're already a great team. So yeah, I think they're ready to take the next step.
All right, next up here, talking money and buying things. We talked yesterday about Jeremiah Smith, the Buckeyes wide receiver, buying a pair of jeans for $10,000.
He's out of his mind.
I want to know from you guys, if you had to look back on a purchase that you previously made that you now look back on and you think to yourself, well, that was kind of stupid. What would that purchase be? You don't have to say the price of it, just what was the item?
Oh, I got one. I actually got this for the kids for a gift for Christmas. I got a 3D printer for them.
Why?
And because we had like watched some videos on it. I thought it would be like, this will be cool. We can make toys together and do that. And then like after a week of it, it was like, oh, this doesn't work. Oh, and I realized, oh, you have to like be smart to know how to use one of these things. And I'm not smart enough to like fix it. So yeah, it still sits there. It was a waste. It's a bad idea.
The only thing that recently I bought this speaker for my system because I was like tired of I play on a monitor, so like I was tired of so the sound doesn't come out. So like if you only got to wear headphones, and I was like I'm tired of wearing headphones.
You wanted some speakers,
and I wanted to like have a speaker, and it just for some odd reason I never used the speaker. I just put the headphones on. It's the craziest thing.
Because you want to talk to people,
yeah,
right?
But like still, like I figured I don't want to talk to nobody, and I just play it through the speaker, and it just I don't know. It's not the same.
Bodie, give me one more.
All right, guys, last one here. In honor of the 50th anniversary of the movie Jaws coming out, the Yankees are selling Jaws milkshakes at Yankee Stadium this summer. The milkshake is made with vanilla ice cream, raspberry sauce, whipped cream, blue gummy sharks, and Lifesavers gummies. Would you give it a try?
I sure would.
100%. It sounds delicious.
You think you would like? Okay, so you think you would like it even too?
Oh, I would. I mean, that sounds.
Well,
that's a lot of sugar.
Yes, it is.
But that's what I like. I love sugar.
Well, sugar's good for you.
Yeah, that's a
If
the leading
sugars
health
would be bad for you, how come Jesus made it taste so
That's
good?
right.
Listen, if he's saying that, and Tebow's saying that's
It's
a lot of sugar,
but
that's a lot of sugar.
I'm all in on that. Tyvis, I'm all in on that. Give me a lot of sugar every day. I like sweet over savory any day of the week. All right, I have a prime example of how numbers can say whatever you want them to. We'll do that at the top of the hour. It's T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Tuesday. Noticing a little bit more slowdowns as even more people head into work this morning. Taking a closer look at the west side, 70 eastbound, looking a little bit more backed up because of some ongoing construction out there. Good morning to our folks over in the Canal Winchester and Pickerington area. Of course, 33 westbound in that area. Noticing some delays there, and even 161 westbound over in New Albany. Just take it nice and slow on the roads this morning. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Bob Yoakum, president of Rockford Homes, talks about what makes First Bank of Central Ohio different.
I would say it starts by caring. It starts by doing what you say you're going to do and following through on it. When you're talking about local, you're talking about relationships and people that matter to you. I don't care if that's personally or professionally.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Hey friends, Beamer here. So did you jump in on Awaken 180's Lose 40 by the 4th challenge? Well, if you did, a huge congratulations to you on hitting a 40-pound goal in less than 2 months. That deserves some serious celebration. Speaking from experience, I dropped double digits my very first week on Awaken 180, and in just over 3 months, all 70 pounds were gone. Total game changer for me, and the results came lightning fast. Now, if you haven't jumped on board yet, there's no worries. There's still plenty of summer left to lose your 30, 40, 70 like I did, or even 100 pounds or more. I'm not saying you're going to drop 40 pounds next week, but if you have the same week one results I had, you'll definitely be on your way. Set your sights in August. Think summer barbecue, golf, the beach, every bit of it fits into your new Awaken 180 lifestyle. Lose weight, love summer, and thank me later. You can start today at awaken180weightloss.com, the official weight loss program of summer.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Now is the time to get your body right. Stop going through life dealing with pain. Remember the good days where you were able to play sports with your friends? Now you're losing to your kids in activity. It's time to take the crown back. Hey, it's Tyvis Powell for QC Kinetics. They are different. These are not quick fixes. This is a revolutionary treatment that works to give your body long-term relief. You'll meet face-to-face with Dr. Aaron Wilkoff and the QC Kinetics medical team. They'll teach you how their regenerative treatment takes your body's own healing power and helps heal and restore your damaged tissue. These are well-respected protocols that include potent and powerful cellular level treatments. QC Kinetics has helped myself and tens of thousands of people right here in the Columbus area. They'll get to the root of your pain and fix it. You will be showing your kids who's boss, just like old times. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
The Reds pioneered night baseball in the major leagues in 1935, but it took another 55 years before they would play their first night game on a Sunday evening. And it happened on this June 24th in 1990, the first regularly scheduled Sunday night game for the Reds, an ESPN national telecast. The Reds won 10-6, beating the Dodgers at Riverfront in a game that featured a memorable collision between Reds pitcher Norm Charlton and Dodgers catcher Mike Scioscia. Charlton, trying to score from first base on a double, ran through a stop sign by his third base coach and was safe at home as he crashed into Scioscia. A memorable first Sunday night game on this June 24th, this date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
The Columbus Zoo invites you to follow the footsteps and the tales of animals from around the world. Explore our newest region, North America Trek. So what are you waiting for? Get your tail to our trails only at your Columbus Zoo.
Evan Cohen here. Typically, you don't associate speed with quality. For example, you don't go through a fast food drive-thru and expect a gourmet meal to go. Well, here's an exception. If you're hiring, you can find candidates fast who are also extremely qualified for your job. Just use ZipRecruiter. With ZipRecruiter's advanced resume database, you can proactively find qualified candidates in minutes. No wonder why ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated hiring site based on G2. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL. Evan Cohen here. La Quinta by Wyndham is deeply grateful for all our military members, veterans, and their families. They understand the dedication, sacrifice, and hard work that comes with serving our country. As a thank you, La Quinta offers 12% off standard rates, upgraded Wyndham Rewards, Gold Status membership, and preferred parking. They want to make sure your stay is as comfortable and rewarding as possible, and they're proud to serve those who serve. Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow you shine. Visit LQ.com to learn more about these special military perks and discounts. Restrictions apply.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Buddy Wells. Ellie Daly Cruz went 3 for 4 on the night as he hit a home run, a triple, and drove in 3. And the Reds took the opener of the 3-game set as they beat the Yankees 6-1 last night at Great American Ballpark. Cincinnati's won 11 of their last 16 games. Those two teams will go again tonight at 7:10. As for the Guardians, they were off yesterday. They return home tonight from their 9-game West Coast road trip. Cleveland will begin a 3-game series against the Toronto Blue Jays. That game will get underway at 6:40 this evening at Progressive Field. In the NBA late last night, the Celtics sent veteran guard Drew Holiday to the Portland Trail Blazers in exchange for Anthony Simons and a pair of second-round draft picks. We'll have the first round of the 2025 NBA draft tomorrow night starting at 8 o'clock. And in soccer, the Columbus Crew are at home tomorrow night for a matchup against Atlanta. Kickoff at Lower.com Field is at 7:30. Breaking sports news when it happens right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Tyvis Powell helped the Buckeyes win a national championship. T-Bone watched Tyvis Powell help the Buckeyes win a national championship. Equally important. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
You can tweet the program at Bone and Tyvis 971. Always appreciate you getting involved there. Assistant coach Christophilus says if you're ever down in Southeast Ohio, McHappy's Donuts is the best. There's one in my hometown of Athens. Never been to a McHappy's Donuts, but I would gladly check that out. It sounds like some McDonald's would make, honestly, like a McHappy's donut.
You know, I need to expand my horizon because I've never thought past Dunkin' Donuts and Krispy Kreme. Like,
really?
I've never really ventured outside of those places.
You're missing out.
I tell you what, you know who used to have some good donuts?
Who's that?
Sheets.
Oh, the Sheets donuts. You don't like them now?
I feel like they changed it a little bit. I feel like it's something about the dough that they changed.
They must have.
And it ain't the same.
Yeah, the Sheets donuts, I'm going to say, are still okay. If you're at a gas station and you want a donut, you could do a lot worse than that. Because again, they have some Sheets makes a cake donut, which I'm a fan of, so that's good. But yeah, if you like their airy, like a Krispy Kreme donut, I don't think they do that as well. They're not as good at those. I'll give you that. But not like I am a fan of, like I've said, a cake donut. I will go. What was Baker just saying? He said the little
donut factory.
Little donut factory in Hilliard.
Yes.
When he said that, I was thinking of like a Duck Donuts type place where they do the little hot donut things, but this is different than what I thought it was. I have to go check this place out. I have not been to Little Donut Factory. I have to go check that out. It's in that little part of Hilliard where, like, I never go over there. It's right over by Nasty's Pub. And that place, I've been there for a few appearances. It's a great spot, but, like, it's kind of out of the way. If you don't know where you're going in Hilliard, you'd never find it.
You don't think, like, when you get off at 9 here.
Yeah.
And you get home. Do you still, like, eat breakfast?
Well, yes.
Because see, this is what happens for me. Like, I get home, it's like 9:30, and if I don't eat like breakfast right then and there, like it's like it's 10 o'clock, and it's like, well, lunch is in about an hour, so why would I even eat breakfast? That happens to me quite often.
Yeah, I have found that to me breakfast has got to be before 10. Because then you're right. Once we get past 10, then I start going, well, I mean, I've already been up so long. I might as well do lunch. Let's order a pizza. And then it just becomes
pizza for lunch.
What's wrong with that?
Man.
I'd eat pizza for breakfast if it was available. I'd eat pizza 20. That's what we need. We have 24/7.
Are you one of those people that, so like, all right, let's say you order pizza on a Friday night.
Uh-huh.
Do you like put it in like plastic bags, like a Ziploc bag, and then eat it cold the next morning?
Absolutely. And I'll heat it up. I got the air fryer. That brings it back.
The air fryer
will bring it right
taste
back.
just like it did when it first was delivered.
So I've got, that doesn't go to waste.
But you eat cold pizza though.
No, that's why I was talking. We were talking about that with Bo Bishop the other day, where I said, to me, like, pizza can stay in the fridge for like a week and it's still good because it's all cheese and sauce and bread. It's all stuff.
You've lost your mind.
Oh, I'll eat it.
You have completely lost your mind. A week? No.
Yeah.
That pizza,
I'm not saying it's as good.
It's in the Powell's residence. It got 2 days max.
Oh, no.
And it's got to go.
You're wasting pizza. You're wasting perfectly good, safe, healthy pizza. That's how I feel. I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor. I did see this number from the NBA. The NBA Finals Game 7. Most watched NBA Finals game in 6 years, which would be something that you could tout as a number that says, hey, that was good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most watched. Now, it's the first Game 7 they've had since 2016, if I'm not mistaken. So,
go Cavs.
So, yeah, go Cavs indeed. But that is, the Game 7 didn't get as high of a rating as non-Game 7 did in 2019. I forget which game it was that had a higher rating in the NBA Finals in that playoffs, but the point being, it's a high rating for where we've been the last few years, where there hasn't been a Game 7, but overall, this NBA Finals was actually one of the lowest watched finals since 2007. When I believe that was the Cavs as well. That was Cavs and Spurs, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that's because everybody knew there was end results.
And it was, the
young LeBron and a bunch of, it was LeBron and the Pips. That's what it was.
That was the, how did he get, he should get credit for getting that team to the finals, and he doesn't. Because it's like, no, he should have won. Shouldn't have ever, it's like, yeah, but he was going up against like a historically great roster of guys who had won multiple championships with a bunch of dudes who you cannot remember their names. I want to say Timofey Mozgov would have been on those teams. Like, that's...
First of all, listen, we're going to stop this. I'm sick of this disrespect that LeBron, it was just LeBron and that was it.
It was.
It was one of the arguably the best centers in Cavs history.
All right.
Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
And how old was Z
there.
in that season?
Z was balling that season.
Okay, but he was like he was towards the end of his career, wasn't he? I got to go look up and see how old was Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
It don't matter.
Yes, it does.
He did everything for that team.
He was good. I'm not denying, but he also, I think he was nearing he's 50 now. So how old was he then?
They say he's still in Cleveland, just hanging out.
His last year with the Cavs was 2010. He started there in 96. I'm just saying he was kind of at the end of his time, and he was still good. But, yeah, he was not.
Big Z.
Let's not pretend like that wasn't LeBron and a bunch of dudes.
I'm about to watch some Big Z highlights today.
I feel like, am I wrong? The Sixers team that AI gets credit for, like, dragging to the finals by himself, which is accurate. Was Dikembe Mutombo not on that team?
Which is like he was.
Yeah, but he wasn't. He wasn't at the peak of his powers. He was very good. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, Dikembe Mutombo, but he wasn't. I don't think he was obviously he wasn't as good at that time. I'm pretty sure he was on that team. Anyway, you can look at those numbers however you want from the NBA. You could say, oh, see, there you go. And I'm sure the NBA will. Most watched finals in 6 years. We're doing things right. Or you could look at it the other way, which I'm sure a lot of other people will, who hate the NBA and who always rip the NBA, who will say, there you go, lowest finals in whatever it's been since 2007. And I think you have to have a measured perspective on both and say, yeah, it's probably a little bit because of the two teams involved not having as big a names. Not that Tyrese Halliburton's a big name. SGA was the MVP. Do most people who aren't NBA fans, if you said name the top 5 players in the NBA, would those two names come up for them? Probably not until now with SGA winning the MVP. Maybe people would know to throw that in. But most sports fans who don't watch the NBA didn't know those guys before this playoffs. I can promise you that.
I agree. That's why I said it lacked the star power. It lacked the big names. But the thing is, with the way that they did this new CBA deal, this is probably how it's going to be moving forward because you can't afford to have the super teams anymore. You can't afford to have all those stars there anymore. So There's going to be a lot of parity when it comes to championship. All those people that's like, oh, I'm against the dynasty. I'm against those teams that win it 3 years in a row or 2 years in a row. Like, I hate seeing that. Well, get ready for these type of finals because this is what it's probably going to be.
I also feel like watching this Thunder celebration, like I'm waiting to see the parade because maybe the parade will have more to it. But you guys tell me if I'm wrong. All the videos I've seen of the celebration, like in the locker room, what do you usually see when guys win a championship?
Popping champagne.
Champagne everywhere, goggles on.
Yep.
There were like
I would have been in there with my Welch's.
But you would have popped champagne.
I would have popped it, but I would have drank Welch's.
See, well, maybe I'm asking the wrong person because, like, I forget which Thunder player it was, had the comment that he was like, yeah, I drank my first beer in the locker room of this game. And I thought, you know what, he's probably not alone because there's such a young roster. There's probably multiple guys in that team that have never had a beer. And I'm like thinking back to when you watch go watch like the Kobe Lakers when they would celebrate, or even go watch like the Warriors and they celebrate. Like those guys are dumping beer everywhere. Like it was a weird vibe in that locker room just because it seemed like a lot of the guys were like, that's cool. When can we go watch film? I want to break down what happened. Like there's such basketball nerds on that team. All those guys are immensely talented players, but that whole roster from top to bottom, Sam Presti's a nerd. Mark Daigneault, their coach, is a nerd. Their players are basketball nerds, and they all were like, yeah, this is fun, but I'd love to go see the wide shot of this and break down our film now. They didn't seem like they were enjoying it.
You make it seem like it's bad to be a square from Delaware. I'm a square from Delaware.
I didn't say that. You are a square from Delaware. But I'm saying, like, I don't care if they drink or not. I'm saying, but I'm surprised they had like 100 bottles of stuff that just was left there. No one would, like, dump them all out. That's fine.
You can at least spray it in the bottle.
Spray the bottle. What are we doing?
But I wouldn't drink it, though.
Did you see the hats, too? The NBA championship hats?
You're just against it all, huh?
They look like NPC hats. Like it looks like just characters walking around in GTA that you would just like not even think about.
They made them knowing like we don't know who's gonna win, so let's make it the most like bare minimum possible, and we can throw a patch on at the end. And it's like, wow.
Go look at those NBA championship hats and tell me that has any coolness to it whatsoever.
It definitely looked like they just threw a patch on.
It looks terrible. Like I'm thinking of the championship hats that used to come with the Bulls back in the day, where it would say like champions all the way across, embroidered, big thick thread on there, and then the logo is sewn in there.
It looked like it's one of them things that you could just pull off. It's like it's Velcroed. It looked like they just said, okay, she's gonna win. Slap the Velcro on all these hats.
Here's what I'm gonna say. Maybe if the NBA wants better ratings, maybe like take yourself more seriously instead of having to be like, well, the NBA Finals are on. We're not going to put a logo on the court. We're going to put Stephen A. Smith just screaming at everybody on the pregame, and good enough. And then for the postgame, we're going to have, I don't know, like just a boring celebration. Nobody's excited. What's his face? Harkenstein's kid was falling asleep in his arms. It was so bland. Like that's how bad this whole thing was. I'm saying Oklahoma City Thunder are like the most unmemorable team you will ever watch in an NBA final. It's too bad the Pacers didn't win because I do think that team had a lot more, I don't know if aura is the right word, but Halliburton, if he had won, if he'd stayed healthy, that would have been fun up there.
In 49 other states, it's just basketball, but in Indiana.
That's what I've heard. They say that in French Lick. That's a big thought that they have down there, I believe. Florida State player called out Bama. Love to see that. We'll tell you what he said next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. And a heads up for folks over in the downtown area. We are monitoring an ongoing road closure happening. This is on Short Street between Mound Street and Liberty. It has been closed since yesterday at 9 a.m. and will be closed until 5 p.m. today. So a great detour you'll want to know about, especially if you're heading on that southbound area. Continue on Civic Center Drive instead. Hop onto Main Street, then head over to High Street, down to Sycamore Street, then head on to Short Street instead. That will be a great way to save some time this morning. And remember the southbound detour. This area will be closed until 5 p.m. today. I'm 10 TV's Brain Albizu with your fan traffic.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life. And fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. And for a limited time, we're offering new patients a free first visit to help you get back to feeling like the man you're meant to be. This includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient Columbus area locations in Hilliard and Westerville.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
When you join the plus side with AAA, that's all you'll have to do. Or you could learn to change your own tire.
Hey fam, what's up? Today I'm gonna teach you to change a flat. Before we start, make sure it's not raining, or hailing, or lightning.
Skip the hard work. On the plus side, get more with AAA. Go to AAA.com/plusside.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to sponsor the Fan and 10 TV's Beat the Heat Fan Drive, benefiting Life Care Alliance. You can help Ohio's most vulnerable residents deal with the extreme heat this summer. How can you help? Purchase new box fans and bring them to the nearest Franklin County Fire Station, or you can buy online and ship fans directly to Life Care Alliance. The collection and distribution of fans is to assist residents who are at risk of heat stroke or heat exhaustion. For more information, go to lifecarealliance.org.
When was the last time you had your plumbing inspected? Small issues such as tiny leaks or old water heaters can quickly turn into big problems if they're not caught early. Take action with Logan Services and schedule a free plumbing safety inspection to help keep your home running smoothly. Schedule your free inspection now and experience the fast, friendly service you've come to expect from Logan Services.
What does summer bring to mind? Lazy days by the pool? Hot dogs on the grill? How about large, sweaty men putting work in to defend their national title? Yes! Your summer home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Are you in need of basic dental treatment but can't afford the cost? There may be a solution. Hi, I'm Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, and I'm excited to tell you about a program called Dental Options. Dental Options is a partnership between the Ohio Dental Association and the Ohio Department of Health, in which qualifying patients can be paired with a dentist to receive discounted or even free dental care. Eligibility for the program is based on your financial situation. For more information or to apply, call 1-888-765-6789.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Going to be another hot day ahead, so enjoy those temperatures in the mid-70s this morning. Mostly sunny skies throughout the day today. Temperatures in the mid to upper 90s with our feels like in the low triple digits. And then tonight, we really don't recover much. We'll be in the 70s again overnight. And then for Wednesday, we'll see temperatures in the mid to low 90s. Feels like still right around 100 degrees. And chances of showers and storms develop later in the day. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
Tyvis has a bum wrist from playing football. Bone has a bum wrist from opening the heavy doors at Sheetz. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
If you are a sports fan in the state of Ohio and you have not downloaded the Prime Sports app on your app store, then you're missing out. Prime Sportsbook Ohio is bringing you a massive welcome deposit match offer. Here's what it is. It's a welcome for your deposit that they're going to match, and it's an offer that lasts for a limited time. So you go to Prime Sportsbook, you deposit your first initial deposit. If it's under $400, they're going to match it with bonus bets. Anything over $400, that's on you. But the first $400 up to $400 in your initial deposit matched in bonus bets, and they're good for up to a year. I tell you this every day. It's not just, 30 days, you better use them. No, you can save them up for football season if you want to. However you want to deploy those is up to you, but you got to hurry and download the Prime Sports Ohio app now or visit primesportsbook.com to get started. Additional terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and older and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Please play responsibly. I think we talked about this yesterday. Prime Sportsbook has this. A bunch of them have it. Cavs, I think, are like 4th overall in the odds for the NBA title, but I want to say they were the number 1 team in the East.
Yes.
So just saying, if you believe in the Cavs.
Put some money down.
I don't know if the Cavs believe in the Cavs right now, because the Cavs also, reports are they tried to trade Darius Garland for Kevin Durant.
You know, there's going to be some backfire on that. One of my friends texted me and said, do you think this is going to mess up the locker room? And I said, yeah, players have feelings. You see, because it came out yesterday that Darius Garland was in the trade for Kevin Durant, was mentioned in the trade for Kevin Durant. And they was like, do you think DG going to feel some type of way about that? And I'm like, this is the thing. And this is the thing that all professional athletes forget. You have to take your feelings and put them to the side. Business is business and your feelings is your feelings. But so many times you mix the two up. And I said, I wouldn't be shocked if Darius was like, you know what, I want to request a trade. Y'all was going to try to trade me? Cool, I'm going to just request a trade. I wouldn't be shocked if he pulled that type of move.
Yeah, I feel like there's two thoughts I have. One is I feel like too many times sports fans get worried about the chemistry of the locker room. You tell me, Tyvis, the chemistry of the locker room is important, but if like 2 months into the season, you've won 90% of your games, I'm going to guess the chemistry in the locker room most of the time is going to get pretty good.
Yeah.
And if you start losing a lot of games, no matter how good everybody's chemistry is in the offseason, it probably goes to hell pretty quick if everybody's losing and nothing's going right. So I do feel like a team that has struggled when it comes to the most important games, finding the way to win. I know they had injuries this year in the playoffs. You know what? If that team chemistry gets upset a little bit by possibly moving on from one of those guys or floating a name out there, oh, well, figure it out. You're pro athletes. This is part of the job.
Well, I mean, the thing about the Darius thing is that it's just he gets hurt. That's the problem. Like, he gets hurt, and he's a defensive liability because of his size. So I don't see how he could be all that upset about them trying to get arguably one of the greatest scorers in the history of the NBA.
It's still a matchup problem for 90% of the defenders in this league.
Yeah.
95% of the defenders in this league. No matter how old he is, like, he's still just tough to defend.
Yeah, I think that for Darius, it's just he has to really focus on just staying healthy. Like, that's the thing. You can't keep getting hurt. You're an undersized guard. You're a defensive liability, but what makes you so special is that you can still be an offensive presence. And if you're going to be hurt and not reliable for the playoffs,
yeah,
they can't use you when they need you the most. So I think for him, it's about just being healthy.
The other thought I had, and a quick question, I guess, for you, given that you were actually a pro athlete, you ever in a situation where something got floated? Maybe it wasn't you, but it was someone maybe you were close to or whatever. And
I know
how those conversations go in the locker room when you did, if one of those rumors come out and someone's like, what the hell? And like sees their name in a report.
Well, I seen it. It was actually the other way. Back when Garyon played for the Raiders.
Yeah.
His name floated a lot.
Garyon Conley. Yeah.
Around the deadline. And I asked him because we just so happened to be playing Oakland that week.
Oh, okay.
And I had seen him, and I said, man, your name was getting floated. He said, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted to be traded. I was praying. I was refreshing Twitter every 15 minutes trying to see if I got traded. So it's actually funny that he was out of all my friends, I think he was the only one that I actually seen like his name being brought up, and I got a chance to actually ask him about it. Anybody else though, I'm trying to think if I ever seen anybody get traded. I seen when I was with the Browns for the cup of tea when they traded Demario Davis for Calvin Pryor. A lot of people in the locker room was very upset by that because it's like Double D was our leader on the defense. And he literally took the heart and soul of the defense and traded him away for a safety. I don't even know if he played for the Browns. If not, I think he might have got cut before they even got to the season.
I cannot imagine how that. Like I know around here when a decision goes over and it's like, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that, and some people start grumbling, and it's like, yeah, but we don't have to go out and like play. I think we do our jobs, right? But like most offices, you don't have to go then. All right, let's all get together and sit with these coaches and figure out a game plan every single week that is vital that you buy into it. I know the chemistry is important. I can't imagine how that would go over when someone actually does get traded like that. Florida State quarterback Thomas Castellanos. I don't know if he's related to Nick or not, but whatever. We'll presume there's something there. I have no idea. No, Thomas Castellanos, he's been playing for Boston College. Now he's transferred to Florida State. And they think there could be some big things for him. 2 years ago, he rushed for over 1,000 yards, over 1,100 yards as a quarterback. Not a big dude. I think he's under 6 feet tall, under 200 pounds, too.
What?
Yeah, he's not big. But he can move. He has battled some injuries last year. Bill O'Brien taking over Boston College. They didn't run him as much. They actually wanted him to sit back in the pocket and throw. So last year, he only had like 190 yards rushing. So he thinks he can get back to doing what he wants to do at Florida State. And he's very confident in his abilities. He said, you go back and watch every first game that I played in. We always start fast. I've dreamed of moments like this. Florida State's playing Alabama in week 1. He said, I dreamed of playing against Alabama. They don't have Nick Saban to save them. I just don't see them stopping me. Okay.
He said this.
He said this, and then he went on. And then the ACC, I feel like I tore the ACC up by my damn self for the last 2 years, and now I'm with a squad. So if you played for Boston College the last 2 years, he think you were ass. He's like, you suck.
He said this? Or is this one of them, you got hacked or trolled?
This is from Pete Nakos of On3, which is one of the, biggest recruiting websites. They have tons of access. He said, I hope people don't think that Florida State is going to be the same team it was last year because we have weapons. People can't just sit back in zone coverage and watch me. So he's saying he is going to take it to them. I think they play this at Doak Campbell on Florida State's campus. So that's a big deal for Florida State to start the season off right.
You know what? I hope he does. I hope he does, because if he does it, they're going to say, you and your media days are done. Could you imagine? He said all this, and then they go out there against Bama and lose 35-7. They're gonna look at him like, don't you say another word.
How many?
Also, I know that he wasn't there last year, but I don't know that anybody within the Florida State football program should be talking a bunch of smack, considering they won 2 games last year and they were absolutely horrendous. I know they got hosed a couple years ago. Maybe not, depending on the opinion of whether or not they should have gotten in when they were 13-0.
Well, they should or shouldn't have. It sucks that they're
bad team last year, man.
Well, ever since their quarterback got injured that year, right? I mean, they were undefeated. Travis. They went from undefeated to now the next year you're 2-10, and it was just an abysmal effort last year. If they end up good again this year, let's say they win like 9 or 10 games, the whiplash of that fan base just alone, that's jarring to go from we were national championship level contender to not even being discussed other than as the most, maybe we should fire the coach right after he took you almost to those heights. And now to be back after a year of that would, I'm just saying, I don't think we've seen that for a while. All right, coming up in 2 minutes, a special edition. Tyvis Eats a Thing, the Jersey Shore edition. I will explain next. It's T-Bone and Tyvis on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there. Well, we are closely monitoring a crash happening over in the south side of our downtown area. The right lane is blocked right now on 71 North, just beyond Greenlawn Avenue because of a crash. Of course, a very busy area there. We do know police are on scene, making sure to monitor the situation and clean up what is needed. Of course, if you're heading in this area, just make sure to pack the patience and be very cautious on the roads this morning. I'm 10 TV's Brian Albizu with your fan traffic.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
4th of July savings are here at the Home Depot, so it's time to get your grilling on. Pick up the Traeger Pro Series 22 pellet grill and smoker, now on special buy for $389, was $549. Smoke a rack of ribs or bake an apple pie. This grill is versatile enough to do it all. This summer, no matter how you like your steaks, your barbecues are guaranteed to be well done. Celebrate 4th of July with fast free delivery on select grills right now at the Home Depot. Subject to availability.
Going up.
Prices keep going up these days. It feels like being on an elevator that only goes up.
Going up.
But not at Metro. We're pushing the down button.
Going down.
We've lowered prices. Get one line of 5G data for $40, period. That's 20% lower. And you get a free Samsung 5G phone when you bring your number. Only at Metro.
5-year guarantee on eligible plans. Exclusions apply. See website for details. Not available at Metro with T-Mobile in the past 6 months. Tax applies.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Tyvis played in some of the biggest stadiums in the world. T-Bone has eaten some of the biggest pizzas in the world. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
To tweet the program at Bone and Tyvis 971, or the YouTube chat is there for you. Just search on YouTube 971 The Fan, and then click on T-Bone and Tyvis, and you'll be right there. All right, yesterday I was driving around listening to Common Man and Timmy 3 to 6 every day right here on The Fan. Timmy has just gotten back from his vacation where he went to the Jersey Shore. I love the Jersey Shore, been there many a time. They have a lot of good food options there, right? But they were saying on the afternoon show that the stuff that Timmy brought back, he brought back this caramel corn. And they said it tasted terrible. So I thought we have a segment where we make Tyvis eat things. Usually he has to guess the price of a thing, and if he gets it right, he doesn't have to eat the thing. But today, we're just going to all try this food. So it's a new edition of our favorite segment. No maybe today.
I was about to say,
definite today.
There's no maybe.
This is, and I'm going to join him. This is Johnson's Popcorn, world famous quality caramel corn since 1940, made in Ocean City, New Jersey. Yeah, but yesterday I'm listening to these guys, and you thought they were eating like, I don't know, like soap from the bottom of a dispenser or something. Like they just said it was the most disgusting thing you can possibly think of. So I figured let's give it a shot and try it on the air. You want to take your bite first?
Yes.
Because one of us has to talk.
I'll be the brave soul.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine. How bad could it be? It's caramel corn. He's crunching and thinking.
It tastes like caramel corn. Maybe it could be a little more sweeter. Maybe that's what they. Here's what they mad about.
Here's what Common Man said. He said it was like Cracker Jack.
It is.
Yeah, it's very much, and that's right.
Yeah,
it is. It's very basic caramel corn. I can understand. I don't know what this costs because I have a whole tub of it here. Timmy left some for us to try, but I mean, this is.
It looked like it cost like a
This is like one of those
$8.
This is a tub that's like the size. You know when you get those, if you were a kid and you had the ice cream at school, where they might have like, hey, we're doing a little ice cream party at school, and they get those big buckets. That's what this is.
Yes.
It's a huge bucket of popcorn. So if they charge like $25-$30 for this, then it's not worth it. But if you bought that whole bucket for like $5, then sure, that's not. I mean, I got to know how much. I'm saying if this was gourmet popcorn that's being sold as like it's the greatest popcorn you've ever had, huge disappointment.
If Timmy paid more than $10 for that, he got had in this deal.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll eat all of it. I mean, it's not.
It's not like it's terrible.
No, but you know what
made it sound like they said it's terrible.
Well, again, I don't know how it was built up. I don't know if it was. They did. They acted like Jen said it was awful. Everyone that was on the show yesterday, Reimer said it was awful, and it's very
awful.
It's very bland caramel corn, is what I would say. It's not. I would never go out of my way to get this. It's not something you would send to people as a gift. Like, around the holidays, they sell that stuff in the tins. If this was in the tin, yes, I would be pissed off. So I'm going to give it like a 4 out of 10 on the caramel corn scale. Like, it's definitely not anything to write home
It really does taste like Cracker Jacks to me.
Yeah, that's exactly. Maybe that's what they were going for. I don't know. But I'm just,
I need to know how much Tim paid for it. That's the.
Well, good news. There's a lot more to try if you want to keep going with it, because there's a lot of it here. I also saw that Aaron Rodgers, he's a fan of just giving his opinion behind closed doors. He'll be real like snarky to people when they ask him for things, when they ask him like opinions, the media, oh, you really want me to get into that? Oh, okay. You can't believe you really want my opinion. And then he goes for an hour on McAfee and we'll start talking about stuff. But this one, he said to Mark Schlereth tells this story where apparently they're friends. They were talking last year about the Jets' run game during the season. And Aaron Rodgers was just complaining. He said for like a 25-minute diatribe because Schlereth started off by saying, I think your guys' run game makes no sense because of the way you're doing it, the blocking schemes you're doing, the guys you have involved. It doesn't make any sense what you're trying to do. And he said Aaron Rodgers just went off for 25 minutes about how terrible it was and how coaches had no clue and it was a bad deal all the way around. And so they're highlighting this to say maybe this year in Pittsburgh it'll be different and maybe that will help him if he has a bit more of a running game.
Wait a minute.
Maybe he can get back to what he needs to do. And as I'm listening to that, I'm thinking, hold on a second. Who was his coach last year? Wasn't it his dude, Nathaniel Hackett?
Yes.
Isn't that why they brought him there?
Yes.
Was because Aaron Rodgers, that's the guy they were like, this guy.
Not only with that, I'm pretty sure they gave him free reins on offense to do what so if it was trash, you need to look in the mirror, buddy. You need to look in the mirror and say, it's my fault because this is what we call.
This is why I feel like sometimes with Aaron Rodgers, I just get gaslit by him. Because now, to be fair to Aaron Rodgers, he hasn't come out and said this. This is Mark Schlereth relaying a story that maybe wasn't even supposed to be out there. But assuming that's what he was doing, that to me is probably the best indicator I could say of why people just despise Aaron Rodgers. Because he, other than the people who are just like, oh, he's really good and he beats my team, he's a guy who says, I'm all about no distractions, right? No distractions. We got to lock in. He said that the year he got injured with the Jets, right? Where he was like, we got to come in here. Been a lot of BS. Everybody's doing their own thing off the field. This year, we got to lock in and just focus on anything that's not winning. We got to stop doing it. And then right after he had those comments, 3 months later, he was contemplating running for vice president with RFK Jr. It's like, all right, you can do that, but don't go lecturing everybody about how you have to stay locked in on winning when you're out there campaigning for president or vice president, as it were. Like, that makes no sense.
My thing with him is he just don't take accountability. Like, that's the big thing. Like, it's always somebody else or it's always some other reason. It's never him. Yeah. Like, if you watched the Jets last year, he just didn't look good. He didn't make the plays that typically he makes. He had a moment earlier in the season where it was like, okay, it might be there. It might be something there. But for the rest of that season, it just wasn't up to par. And instead of him saying, you know what, it's on me. Like, usually that's what quarter. It starts with me, so I need to be better.
Yeah.
That he ain't never said that.
No, he hasn't.
So I don't know why he just don't just step up. Maybe now that Arthur Smith is calling plays, maybe that will help him out.
Maybe.
We'll see. But a lot of Pittsburgh former players said they was offensively challenged, so we'll see.
Well, you know what? I saw this stat from Warren Sharp, who's one of those guys that puts together like a huge football NFL guide every year. You can like subscribe to his newsletter and get all this stuff. He has some great facts and figures and stats in there. This one blew my mind. The Steelers' offense last year on their opening drives, all of last year, they managed a combined 0 touchdowns on their opening drives all of last season. Okay. However,
they didn't score one opening drive touchdown.
No, but here's what makes it even worse.
That's bad.
They were outscored on their opening drives by the defenses they played because on one of their opening drives, they threw a pick six. So the only touchdown that was scored on their opening drives was scored by the other team taking it the other way. So they got outscored 7-0 on their own. Not like the other team scored. I'm sure they got outscored much more than that by the other team's offense. But I'm just saying they got outscored by their own offense, 7-0, giving up a touchdown on that. Like, that's just
it's
blows
crazy.
my mind.
I hear a stat like that and know that still somehow the Browns were a worse offense than the
Oh, I know. Yeah. Please understand, Steelers fans, I'm not saying that as a Browns fan we have any leg up on you in any regard. I obviously know that. I'm just pointing out that I don't blame a Steelers fan at all for being pissed off about where that offense has been and for having at least the slightest bit of hope that maybe Aaron Rodgers comes in and fixes it, because he is, has been that good over his career. The last few years he hasn't been. But I don't blame you for wanting to believe that if you just got any semblance of normal quarterback play in an offense and just had some stability there, maybe with your defense being awesome, you could actually go back to being more than a 9-win team, and you could actually do something and make some noise.
My thing with him,
I still think it's a pipe dream because I just don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be that good.
My thing with Aaron Rodgers is there's no in between with him. No. This is either going to be the greatest decision Pittsburgh ever made, or this is going to be the absolute worst decision they've ever made. There is no in between.
Yeah. I guess I don't feel like there's just a middle ground where he's fine.
I don't think that's
and
the
then
case.
He's just like he's
either going to be really good
guy.
or he just not going to be good at all. Like, I think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
We'll see Will Howard.
See, now that again, if he wasn't wearing a Steelers uniform, I'd be rooting for him, but I can't because he's wearing Steelers black and gold right now. That's not for me. I have a couple of all-time names for you coming up next. We love a good sports name. Guys who just have something that you've never heard before. We had 2 of them yesterday in the span of a few hours that I think we got to have a discussion about. So we'll do that next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Well, some good news for folks traveling and heading up north into the city right now. 71 northbound, just beyond Greenlawn Avenue. We had a crash where a right shoulder was blocked. That has since been cleared. Police are still on scene, but what we're noticing is some major impacts, some backups, bumper to bumper out there again. 71 at Greenlawn Avenue. Our traffic cam's looking a little dicey this morning, so make sure to take it nice and slow if you're heading in this direction this morning. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Whether it's water heater trouble, clogged or leaky pipes, or sub pump worries, Logan Services has you covered with service calls for just $79. We're fast, friendly, and here to help you with your plumbing projects. Logan Services.
This just in from the Lindsay Honda Newsroom. It's our big anniversary sale. 0% for up to 60 months has been extended on all new Hondas. Try the new 2025 CR-V LX all-wheel drive with 0% financing.
Lower your rate, lower your payment.
Save thousands on hundreds of new Hondas when you buy now.
With so many Hondas, why would you go anywhere else?
Shop the big, the beautiful Lindsay Honda now. Visit lindsayhonda.com for details. Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey guys, don't waste time and money with low-quality online TRT that charges you over $100 just to start. Visit the TRT experts today at Low T Center for a free consultation and free test. The treatment is personalized to your body, and most major insurance is accepted. And you'll get the freedom to choose if you want in-center care or at-home treatment. Looking to lose weight? Get a free B12 shot when you start prescription treatment. The offer is limited, so book now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
10 West Broad, Columbus. CordellCordell.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't let bad feet stop you from being active and getting healthy this year. Trade in your bad feet for good feet at the Good Feet store.
Join the Fan and 10 TV on Friday, June 27th from 11 to 6:30 to kick off the Beat the Heat Fan Drive. Purchase box fans and drop them off at the 10 TV studios on Friday, June 27th from 11 to 6:30. The Beat the Heat Fan Drive is sponsored by Newman Roofing.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Two men who both know the value of a good hat.
You're bald!
This is Bone and Tyvis.
All right. I love a good nickname. I love a good real name. I love in sports when we find out the names of people and they are just insane. Because sometimes you wonder, how do people come up with these names? How do people get named what they are? We've seen it in, like, what is it, every year they do this in college basketball. I know, I think they do it in college football too, where they say, here's the all-name team for college basketball. And just some of the names are hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's a combination of the first name and the last name. Sometimes it's just a really odd first name, whatever it is. I saw that my New York Mets made a move yesterday to pick up a reliever. He has been with the Blue Jays, been with a couple different teams. His name is Richard Lovelady, which is fine, right? Lovelady's a bit of a unique last name. But what made it more interesting was I saw that Anthony DiComo, who covers the Mets, said, for those asking, yes, new Mets reliever Richard Lovelady has requested to go by his nickname Dickie. So it will be Dickie Lovelady from here on out. My guy. That's great. I'm all about that.
Well, it was a guy that was in the minors. I think he's in the minors. His name is Fitz. Richard Fitz.
Okay.
But obviously
he doesn't go by Richard?
He does not go by Richard.
Does he go by Dick? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yes. So that would be his name. Dick Fitz.
Hey, you know what? If that's what you want to go by, I'm not going to judge how you want to be called. I'll call you by your name. That's fine. So Richard Lovelady, a.k.a. Dickie Lovelady, now pitching for my New York Mets. I'm very excited about that. I hope he's great. The Mets need some help, by the way. They haven't been great of late. But the other name I saw, and this one's a little more in depth. This is Bowling Green. You know, our guy Eddie George up there now coaching Bowling Green up. Let's go. Hope they have a great season. They had a transfer from Dayton that came in this year. His name, by itself, without his middle name, is still a pretty good name. I don't say it's an all-time name, but Gideon Lampron. Like, that's a sturdy name. There's a lot of syllables. You don't hear a lot of people named Gideon all the time.
Gideon
Biblical
Lampron.
Name. Yeah, Gideon Lampron, all right? He was an FCS All-American linebacker at Dayton.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, John Gruden loves him because I think he's got some ties to UD, right? Isn't that where Johnny Gruden went to school?
Not 100% sure.
I think that's it. Anyway, so he's now going to Bowling Green, going to step up a level there. But his dad apparently is a huge sports fan. So much so that he campaigned to, when his son was born, he's from LaGrange, Ohio. Dad campaigned with mom and said, how about we make his middle name Espen? And when I say that, I mean ESPN, spelled out, pronounced Espen. So mom said, absolutely not, you psychopath, that's stupid. Then mom gave birth to Gideon Lampron. Then, as does happen after women give birth, because it's an exhaustive process, and I don't know how women do it, she was asleep right after the birth. She was resting. Dad is presented with the form to fill out the name. And so Dad went rogue and put ESPN as this dude's name for his middle name. So now, and they asked him about this. The Dayton Daily News did a story on this. He said, then she delivers Gideon. She's out of it. The nurse comes for me to sign the birth certificate. When I signed it, I literally printed ESPN in capital letters. She was out cold when I did it. When she woke up, I told her I did it, and she said, no, you didn't. She didn't realize I did it. She wasn't happy with me. Yeah, I bet. Marty is his name, by the way, the dad. Marty Lampron is the one who brought us this. So, yeah, his son Gideon now plays football and is now at Bowling Green. And if you look up his official middle name in the media guide, it's Gideon Espen Lampron, but it's ESPN. And I guess I applaud the effort. I don't know if, I think I would get my wife would divorce me if I did that.
This is up there with Dakotas Crawford.
Yeah, it's up there, right?
Up there with that.
That's right. There's been quite a few. Wasn't there Kool-Aid McKinstry? Am I wrong? I think that was a nickname.
That was his nickname.
Yeah, that was his nickname.
Kool-Aid.
But yeah, but I mean, putting brand names in the name is quite a thing.
Well, the wildest name I've seen probably in the past, 10 years.
Yeah,
was this linebacker that's at Eastern Michigan, whose name is Noah, but his last name is Kanega, but it's spelled Knigga.
Oh,
so if you don't know how to pronounce that, like if you just,
I wouldn't dare.
If you just looked at it, like say you were doing the play-by-play and you had no idea, you would say.
What I would say is Noah made a great tackle. Noah is doing some great things. Noah is our tremendous player, Noah.
The kid is, I think he went to Eastern Michigan. The kid, this is when I seen this, I had to, I looked at it like his last name is what? And it was like this big thing. It had the internet in a blaze.
Well, I remember for years as a kid, there was a name that used to be on TV all the time. And when I would hear this word in the news, the first time I heard this word, I had asked my mom and dad, I'm like, what does this mean? And they explained, this is a very heinous crime. This is a very dangerous crime. It's very bad, right? There was a guy who I think still, I don't know if this dealership still exists in Richmond, Indiana. They used to run commercials for Tom Raper RV. And I said, because I didn't know when I was a kid, I would hear these commercials like, oh, Tom Raper RV. And then I heard that term without the R on it on the news, and then my parents were like, that's a very bad crime. I don't even want to describe what that is to you because it's obviously horrible.
Yeah.
And I was like 7 or 8 years old. So then I found out it was a crime, and then now as I've grown up, Tom Raper RV, when you drive out to Richmond, Indiana, it's like the first town in Indiana as you're headed out to Indianapolis. You go past Tom Raper Way, and Tom Raper RV used to be there, and I don't know if it still is, but change your last name is what I'm saying. Like, you just may want to go with something else.
Where you get that? Oh, I was down at the Raper dealership.
No. Is that a Raper RV you have? Nope, it's just a regular RV. Just a regular old. They sold vans, too. I don't want that on the bumper.
I think he just leaned into it. I think that's, instead of just resisting it, I think he just kind of leaned into that one.
Like your guy, Kanega. It's like, you may need to change that last name, or at least do some phonetic spelling of it.
I think his dad is a coach. Coach Kanega.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Okay. I mean, I guess you got to do what you got to do. That's
we might just call him Coach K.
Yeah, that's a good call there, Bodie. You're exactly right. By the way, speaking of good sports names, I saw Lil Wayne, the rapper. He has a horse. He's obviously very wealthy. He can afford to get many horses if he wants to. He has a racehorse, though, that won a race at Alameda Racetrack. Good. The horse's name is Six Hoof, Seven Hoof. And I thought, that's a pretty good horse name. If you're good, I mean, you got a song, 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot, but like everyone's heard that little bit at some point, probably. Horses have no feet. They have hooves, right? So that's 6 hoof, 7 hoof. I like it. It's a good name.
It's very creative. And I guess when you get a horse, you have to name it something that's creative.
Well, we talked about the Derby. How you have, like, who won it? Was it journalism or sovereignty? One of those two won it this year. And it's just like,
no,
all right.
Was journalism the favorite? But he didn't win, I think.
And Sovereign? Maybe Sovereign's the one that won, but then journalism won. I don't know. They both were very good. And those are fine names, but those are kind of boring. Like six hoof, 7 hoof. I feel like that's the one I want to hear them yell.
I'm throwing 20 down on that one.
Absolutely right. That's good. All right. You can tweet us some of your favorite names that we've forgotten about at Bone and Tyvis 971. A known cheater is sad that another known cheater got screwed in his mind. We'll explain it next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Tuesday. Definitely noticing a lot more people heading out the door this morning with our time saver traffic map. A couple of congested areas. Mainly the main focus is going to be for folks over in the Canal Winchester and Pickerington area. Your commute's looking a little bit slower than usual. Some parts of 33 westbound looking at 47 miles per hour. So definitely notice those backups. Take it nice and easy on the roads for your Tuesday commute. I'm 10 TV's Brian Albizu with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com.
The Buy 5, Save 5 deals at Meijer are a great way to stock up on all your 4th of July celebration supplies. Buy 5 or more and save $5 or more when you mix or match hundreds of items, like 24 packs of select Coca-Cola and Pepsi products, plus deposit where applicable. Oscar Mayer Classic Beef Franks, Kraft Shredded or Chunk Cheese, Dole Chopped or Premium Salad Kits, and Dixie Family Pack plates, bowls, or hot cups. The Buy 5, Save 5 deals at Meijer. That's the good life. A good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
That's are us when dreams don't get in. That's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us when dreams don't get in. That's are us.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Everybody today in America is trying to get healthy. I'm doing it, you're doing it. There's people out there everywhere. And most people, they don't feel good. And so when you don't feel good, what do? You go to the doctor, there's pills, there's steroids, there's surgery. You don't want to deal with any of that. You don't want to be put on the shelf. You don't want to put things in your body that you do not enjoy. So here's what you need to do. Go see my friends at QC Kinetics, just like I did. My body was beaten up, so was my dad's. We went to QC Kinetics. They're not into the quick fixes. They're going to go there and they're going to diagnose you and find regenerative treatments with your own body's healing power to help heal that damaged tissue. And so you're going to feel better. You're going to be able to do the things you'll love again, and that's perfect because it's summertime. So listen, they're going to go right to the source of it at the cellular level. So give them a call at 380-208-4544 or go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. They have offices all over Ohio. So go check them out today.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Jeremy Foltz, CEO and co-founder of 3C Technology Solutions, speaks about working with First Bank of Central Ohio.
I think FBCO had a really nice personal touch. Transition was really easy and much cleaner than I thought it would be. Some very specific things that made me very excited to work with them are availability and creativity.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
He shoots, he scores! No matter your sport, it's a great time of year to be a fan. But the fun stops when you or a loved one can't control your gambling. At Maryhaven, we're here to help. Whether it's gambling, drugs, alcohol, or mental health, you don't have to go it alone. With in-person, virtual, and group options, Maryhaven meets you where you are. Always judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today. That's maryhaven.com.
Brought to you by the Capital One Savor Card. With Savor, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Savor Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Evan Cohen here. It's time to turn things up a notch. This summer, don't binge watch shows, binge s'mores by the campfire. Press pause on the podcast and press play on the warm weather vibes. Here's your chance to win $10,000 for your ultimate summer. What are you waiting for? Take your shot with 5-Hour Energy and make this summer your best summer ever. Visit 5heshot.com for full details and rules and to enter today. No purchase necessary. Ends June 30th, 2025.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Buddy Wells. We'll start with baseball here. Ellie De La Cruz went 3 for 4 and drove in 3. Gavin Lux hit a solo shot in the 4th, and the Reds beat the Yankees 6-1 last night at Great American Ballpark. The Redlegs will host the Yankees again tonight. First pitch is at 7:10. Meanwhile, the Guardians enjoyed an off day on Monday. They'll be back at it tonight when they host the Blue Jays for the first of a 3-game set in Cleveland. First pitch in that game is at 6:40 this evening. We've got the NBA draft coming up tomorrow night. The first round will get started at 8 o'clock tomorrow night at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. The Dallas Mavericks own the top overall selection, heavily favored to select Cooper Flag out of Duke. And in soccer, the Columbus Crew host Atlanta tomorrow night at 7:30 at Lower.com Field. This update is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Do not put off losing weight this summer. You can reach your goal during the easiest season for weight loss. Awaken 180, the official weight loss program of summer.
Tyvis is drinking a protein shake for breakfast. T-Bone is eating a protein donut, minus the protein. And it's more than one donut. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Well, there'll definitely be more than one donut today.
Oh, you know that. Probably going to stop out and get some after I leave here. It's been a donut day on the show. We were talking about Donald's Donuts in Zanesville. I heard someone said in the chat that they are closed on Tuesdays. So that's unfortunate that we're bringing them up and then they're not open. But whenever they're open again, if they are, go check them out in Zanesville because they apparently, according to USA Today, have the best donuts in America. I would like to independently verify this, but I'll have to wait. Fish, our boss, said he was thinking about driving out there
to Zanesville,
bring us some donuts, which would have been great audio if he would have got all the way out there and called us and said, "Yeah, they're closed today." I would have actually.
He was going to drive to Zanesville.
He was considering it. He chose not to, but he was thinking about it. Which I approve of, because he goes the distance for the bit, and I like that about him. That's good.
He
would have
drove an hour to go get the donuts. Wow,
you're driving 2 hours, 2.5 hours to go up for your job after this. Yeah. You got another job up in Cleveland you got to go to.
Yeah, I hope it's no accidents today. I need to go talk to Bree.
Hopefully you get there early. Yeah, go find out from Brianna Abrizu, and then find out if in fact there are some donut stops on the way. Maybe you could pick some up on the way back.
The thing is, I'm so close to cutting it that I really can't stop.
No, on the way back you can.
Oh, on the way back, yeah, it's fair game on the way back.
Alex Rodriguez has some thoughts about Pete Rose. He was talking, I believe he was at WFAN, the obviously New York sports station there, And he gave a big, broad interview where talking about a variety of topics, but the Pete Rose thing came up. He said, Pete Rose, great friend of mine. Breaks my heart that he's gonna get in now. But I actually feel like if he would have gotten in, if he would have lived another 5 years. Because I'd never met anyone that loves baseball more than Pete Rose. And it broke my heart he couldn't get in while he was alive. But baseball's tough. It was a lifetime sentence. It is a lifetime sentence. I've got to do my time and live with it forever.
I'm about to say, he's in the same ball.
Yeah, he is. Well, those two were on, was it Fox's coverage, I believe, for the World Series? I know they were both on together. I think it was Fox, which would make sense because they do the World Series. Mm-hmm. But they were talking, and I remember watching some of those segments that those two guys did and thinking, look, all the cheating aside, you're getting some amazing baseball. Like, watching the two of them talk hitting was incredible because A-Rod was like, well, what would you do if you couldn't get a hit or everything was getting fouled off? You were late. He's like, oh, I'd move up, I'd move back, I'd move there. He just went through the whole process that Pete Rose would do in his head. Mm-hmm. Brilliant baseball discussion. I thoroughly enjoyed watching those two on TV. They had a natural chemistry together. However, there was that whole cheating thing, and you kind of have to deal with that. And if you accept a lifetime ban from Major League Baseball, which Pete Rose did, that's kind of how it goes. I mean, you know what it was. He passes away, and then suddenly everybody says, all right, fine, it's time to let him in. I mean, that's what they did. There's no denying that.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is that he will eventually get in. I mean, his legacy is, you could put that as a tarnish because of the cheating or the gambling thing. You could say that, but like, it doesn't take away from the amazing player that he was and the coach that he was either. So I think that people would try to remember him more so for the good rather than
of course,
the bad.
I just yesterday or 2 days ago, I was driving, I was at the grocery store, and I saw a guy get into his car, and he had a full Pete Rose bright red with the Cincinnati logo on the left chest, had the Pete Rose jersey on just because he's a Reds fan. I mean, the legacy of Pete Rose is undeniable. He's one of those guys you will see jerseys for still 50 years from now. People who never watched him play will wear his jersey because that's just how important he was to the city of Cincinnati. There's also no denying that he cheated the game. I think what he did, I do think the gambling scandal with him is very different than A-Rod's scandal. And I also feel like A-Rod kind of saying like, oh yeah, we're on this boat together a little bit, but not quite. Because Pete's scandal, while it did cheat the game and it was wrong, he had a gambling issue. He could not stop betting on baseball. Even if he bet on his own team, you're still compromising how the game is played, and that is wrong. But that is something that, while that's personally, like, he could have made some money off of that, and if you read up on Pete Rose, he didn't make a lot of money on it. He was actually a really bad gambler, it sounds like, by all accounts. Doesn't justify it. If you're a really bad bank robber and you rob a bunch of banks and don't get any money, but you, like, point the gun at people and do all the stuff, you're still a bank robber, right? You still committed the crime. You got to pay the penalty. But Pete Rose, the way he cheated, I do feel like is a little different than A-Rod, who just flat out was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to take PEDs and use them to enhance my career. And maybe A-Rod would have been one of the greatest hitters of all time without PEDs, but we will never know that. We do know Pete Rose was one of the greatest, if not the greatest hitter baseball's ever seen, and it had nothing to do with his gambling. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, that doesn't quit. His legacy is about what he should or shouldn't have done, and was it right for the game? But his actual on-the-field performance is not in question by the cheating he did. Right. A-Rod and some of these other guys, Barry Bonds even, you have to, Mark McGwire.
Stop it right there. Stop. Mark McGwire didn't do anything wrong.
I just had to throw that in there.
Your guy. You stop it. My childhood hero played the game fair and square in my eyes.
It was all creatine and
I don't care what nobody say.
I'm just saying that doesn't cheat the game, right? In the same way. I don't think, like, steroids cheats in a totally different way to me.
Right, because it's actually impacting your performance. Like, it's enhancing your performance. You took something to enhance your performance on the field to where that had nothing to, like, he didn't take anything to make himself a better player.
If you want to say Pete Rose's legacy as a manager should absolutely be more in question because of the gambling aspect, because that did affect him as a manager. But if you deleted the fact that he ever managed a baseball game, and then he was just betting on it as a player, that doesn't change anything for me as far as how he played the game.
Right.
He was still Charlie Hustle. He was still the guy who did all these things. he was a terrible person, by the way. Let's also be clear. Like, he did a lot of good for that community as a human being, but if you go see the personal relationships that he had with people, I mean, talk to his ex-wives, talk to different people who were around him. I mean, he was just not a good dude, not loyal at all, just not a good guy. But then he would stop randomly and help a stranger somehow, and that would make him, everything's forgiven. That all aside, he's one of the greatest players to ever play the game, and none of that now is in question by what he did. A-Rod Barry Bonds will never know. I'll never know how much of that was them versus how much of that was the stuff they put in their bodies that helped them be as great.
That's when the game was at its peak, though, when they were all on the juice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, it was must see. They was hitting that thing 500.
Hey, man. Tom Glavine said it, right? Chicks dig the long ball in that Nike commercial.
I'm just saying. Oh, you got a question in the chat. They want to know, what's your favorite death metal band? What is death metal?
Oh, death metal's like, it's a subgenre of metal.
It's dark music.
Well, there's like death metal, there's deathcore. I got to think about that one. I don't have a good answer for you off the top of my head because I don't listen to a ton of death metal. I listen to a lot of hardcore.
What makes
a lot of beat down hardcore?
What's the difference between death metal and beat down hardcore?
So beat down hardcore would be like, yeah, we're all here from me and my friends, and we're gonna like mess each other. We're gonna mess you up. Like, we're gonna fight you. Death metal is like, everything is death, and let me describe the death in great detail. Let me get very grotesque with the, like, this is how the person died. This is how gross it was. Like, it's a very different lyrical concept between those two. It's all very heavy, and it's a lot of screaming. At the end of the day, it's still very accurate to me. I don't know. That's one in the chat. I'll put my response in there.
Shout out to Gordon.
Thanks, Gordon. I'll put that in the chat for you. All right. The preseason accolades already rolling in for some Buckeyes. We'll get to that next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Well, boy, as more people step out the door right now, we are noticing some major slowdowns, and they're really happening in all areas of the metro this morning. Taking a closer look, though, at folks over in the downtown area. This is happening down south. 71 heading northbound at Greenlawn Avenue, looking a lot slower than usual. Of course, this is usually a very busy area, but we did have a crash that cleared up not too long ago, about 45 minutes ago, so that is some good news. But again, we are noticing some major congestion in that area. Police are still on scene. The crash has just been moved to the right shoulder as of this morning. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Colin Man here. Let me tell you something. I'm on these Germain interoffice emails. At Germain Lexus, during the month of June, they've challenged themselves to sell more cars than they ever have in 1 month. What does that mean? Well, I'm stupid, but to me, that means they're willing to deal, baby. And the Memorial cars are on the lot. The ones the golfers drive for the tournament are now available to you. I have been a Germain customer for years, even before I started doing the commercials. If you're in the market, please stop in. Germain Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived, the only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, Tinsley, why don't we use EasyCater to order food for staff lunches?
Because my 46-page acronym system is so easy. I just have to salad, stay alert to late arriving deliveries, pie, put in expenses, and Google Pie. Go out and get everyone's preferences and allergy information.
That's supposed to be simple?
No, simple is Steve and Irma and Margie prefer lasagna and empanadas.
OMG.
No need to make work life more complicated. Just use EasyCater, the easy way to get food for work.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, I got the nicest Google review today. Dewey from Gehanna said, "We cannot believe we are able to get the Pella look and quality at the cost we did."
I got a review too. Listen to this. These windows were great. Oh boy. For about a year. Looks like I'll need to renew, in quotes for some reason. My window's way too soon. Repeat customer?
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
This 4th of July, Bob's Discount Furniture is bringing back 4 for the 4th. Spotlighting 4 must-have trendsetters for $7.99 and under, like my farmhouse chic Calvin bedroom, Playday sectional with pop-up sleeper and hidden storage, Consumer Reports recommended treasure mattress, and my 5-star Betty dining set in 4 gorgeous colors. So stop in or visit mybobs.com and celebrate 4 for the 4th. Oh, my Bob!
Bob's Discount Furniture.
The Fan is the official station of summertime. Sipping on a lemonade, the smell of fresh cut grass in the air, and Common Man playing fart noises on the radio.
Was that a fart?
Ah, summer. The Fan, Ohio's summer destination.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Temperatures starting off going to be in the mid to upper 70s, and then enjoy it this afternoon. We are yet again in the mid to upper 90s across central Ohio, with our feels like in the lower triple digits. Down into the 70s again tonight, and then we will see sunshine again for tomorrow. Temperatures in the mid to low 90s, but still dangerous heat as our feels like right around 100 degrees, with chances of showers and storms developing later in the day. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
All of the hair on their heads is slowly migrating to the lower part of their faces. And tracking. This is T-Bone and Tyvis.
We were just watching Jamar Chase having a bit of a viral offseason. Bengals wide receiver. There was a video of him on an airplane a couple days ago where a guy, and this is douchebag behavior, 100%.
It is.
This guy, apparently Jamar Chase is sitting coach, it looks like, just chilling out in his seat.
I think he was in the exit row, it looked like.
Yeah, because he had a little bit of extra foot room there. But this guy said something about an autograph, and Jamar Chase said, no thanks, which I think that's all fair play. I don't think it's bad if you want to ask for an autograph from a famous person, and then if that person says, no, I don't want to do that, or a picture, then that's enough, and then you say, okay, well, sorry, thanks anyway, and you move on. This guy then proceeded, right as the plane was getting ready to deboard, he's just like, hey, this is Jamar Chase sitting right here.
Yeah.
And basically was like, I blew up your spot because you wouldn't give me an autograph.
Yep. And he looked at him like, this guy.
Yeah. And that's, I think, I don't know, man. I don't think that you have a right to an autograph from an athlete. Like, I feel like that's odd. Like, if you ask and the guy says no, then that's it. Sorry.
Also, what's the win for that guy?
Oh, yeah.
Does he think, like, people are going to start flooding from other rows to go? Like, people are going to look back, obviously. Anytime you get up on a plane and do something, just like the crazy lady who was screaming, that mother bleeper back there is not real. Jamar Chase was real in this instance, but, like, what are you gaining from that? What do you win from that?
Nothing.
Like, you look like 99% of people has to look at that guy and say, you are a total a-hole for what you're doing right now.
Yeah, he got to put a video out there went viral.
But he looks like a jackass. Like, it's not like it's
care.
like
It's his 15 seconds of fame. What do you mean?
I guess that's bad publicity is better than none or whatever. But
any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Bodie, that, like, for him, there's no win. Because in his head, though, like Tyvis is saying, he's probably going to everyone at his local bar or wherever he goes, and he's like, yeah, you know what I did the other day? Look at this video. And for like 2 days, there might be people who are like, oh, that's cool. And then after that, a year or two later, he'll still be that guy bringing up that video and no one will care.
Well,
But in their heads, they think like, oh, this is going to make me. I'm the video guy that called out Jamar Chase. This will launch me somehow. It won't. No one gives two craps about it.
Not only that, but like I have to imagine by far majority of people would look at that guy and say, you're a loser for doing that.
You're an absolute jerk.
This isn't like, oh, I kind of caught my fame for doing something funny, or like, even if it was like 50-50, some people would like it, some people would hate it. I don't think anybody looks at that video and it's like, man, what a guy. That seems like a guy I'd love to hang out at.
No,
I feel like his reason was he thinks Jamar Chase is a bad guy, and I'm going to tell the world he's a bad guy. Like,
because he wouldn't sign an autograph for you? That feels like something a 5-year-old would think.
But that's
like not an adult.
That's kind of, I guess the only thing that I feel like is justifiable to why he would do that is like, oh, this Jamar Chase is an a-hole, so I want everybody to know that he's an a-hole. Like, I think that's kind of what this was.
The other thing Jamar Chase has gone viral for is there was video of him walking past a woman, like they're outside, there's a bunch of SUVs, it looks like there's a line of cars, maybe they're getting into them, getting out of them, but there's a nice looking woman who's standing there, and she puts her arm kind of up to like give him a hug, and he completely just is like no sells it, like nope, nice to see you, I'm gonna keep on walking. And she gives him a look,
that little quick pat, there you go, and
she gives him a look like I know you didn't just walk past me and not acknowledge me. And hey, I don't blame him at all. Now I'd love to know the backstory. I'd love to know if this is someone he is very familiar with or someone he's never met, because if it's someone you're very familiar with and you do that, that's not good. That is probably not great for your personal relationship. Oh, I'm telling you, I saw that look. I clocked it immediately.
Face.
This woman gave him a look that would absolutely, like, it would crumble me. If I saw a woman give me that look, I'd be like, I'm sorry, I screwed up.
It's that look like that every person in the black community, they say, oh, for real? That's what we doing? That's how you doing it? It's that look right there. For real? That's how we do it?
Yeah. It seems like war may have just been started between the two of them. If he's known her, but if he doesn't know her at all.
Oh, he blew her phone. She blew his phone up after this.
That's what I'm saying. Right. If he knows her, then it's a very different context than if they've never met and she's just like, I know you're famous. Let me give you a hug.
She had to know him. Because if it was a random fan, I don't think they would have reacted like, first of all, they're not reaching for a hug.
I wouldn't think so.
So they have to know each other in some way, form, or fashion. And he tried to stay strictly private.
Oh, yeah. He's
keep
like,
it professional in the streets.
Yeah. That's that whole, like, blank in the sheets and blank in the streets. And like, no, he's like, you're just in the sheets. I don't know you in the streets.
TMZ out there with their cameras ready to catch me hugging somebody so they can stalk her.
Oh, yeah. He said, no, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that happened after the airplane incident. And he's just like, I'm done with interactions now for a while. Who knows? So we'll keep an eye on both of those stories for you. All things Jamar Chase related. We'll get to them. Athlon Sports, one of the first of all these different preseason publications. They're all going to come out with their All-America teams, preseason All-America teams. Athlon's one of the ones that's done it forever. Their first team All-Americans preseason version of that. Go figure, 2 Buckeyes on that list, and we all know which 2 they are. Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs are the 2. That's on the first team. Second team, I'm a little more interested in to see what kind of love the Buckeyes are getting in that regard. And you have Carnell Tate on that list and Sonny Styles. So,
okay.
Yeah, I think I'm not saying that means anything. It's all preseason stuff. It's all hype, but I don't think that's going to be too far off from the way it could go this year. I do think Carnell Tate and Sonny Styles could absolutely have monster years this year that, while they may be overshadowed by their more talented or slightly bigger name counterparts, like, that doesn't mean they can't be huge contributors on this team.
Well, 3 out of the 4 names you mentioned need to be somewhere in that ballpark because they're draft eligible. And obviously for like Carnell Tate, it's been a long run. I think, 5 years that they've had somebody go in the first round. You kind of don't want that streak to end, and he's the guy that you're kind of leaning on to keep that streak alive.
He's the connection because next year, it ain't going to be a problem.
It's a hands down. It's a foregone conclusion that guy's going in the first round next year. So this is a big year for Carnell Tate, but a name that I wish that we could see on this list, and I hope maybe this is the year that he could get on that list, is actually Max Clare, the tight end, because he's too much of a weapon for them not to have a really productive season. With all of those wide receivers, the two that we just named, them guys being considered All-Americans. Well, teams has got to sell out to stop that, which means that's a lot of one-on-one opportunities for Max Clare in that tight end spot. And, I know in Ohio State's these past couple of years, we haven't necessarily valued the tight end spot. I guess, Cade Stover probably was the most productive tight end we've had in years. Max Clare can be better than that. And he could break whatever the record is for tight end yards within a season, which is 700 or 800 or something like that. He could easily break that this season with all the attention that those wide receivers are getting and, having that quarterback play with whether it's Julian or Lincoln. I think they can do a really good job of getting him the football. We've seen it in the spring game. I think he caught a touchdown in the spring game. Max Clare did.
Yeah. Weapons won't be a problem at Ohio State. They never are. Obviously, like you mentioned, the biggest thing kind of hanging over all that is whoever plays quarterback, whoever you think it's going to be. I'm with you. I tend to think it's Julian Sayin. I don't know if you said that. I am saying.
I'm about to say.
I think it is going to be Julian Sayin, but
I think it is. But if it was Lincoln, I'd be fine with it. I have no problem.
Fine with either.
I'm good
them,
either way.
Here's what I'll be fine with: is if whoever gets that job, having all the weapons and being able to, get the ball out of their hands quickly. Because I do think your offensive line is going to give you some problems if you're not quick with the ball out of your hands. If you're not decisive, that could be. Then you're going to have to be really good with your feet because. I don't have as much confidence in this offensive line as I would like to going into the season. Now, I hope they prove me wrong, but that to me is one of the areas that I have the most concern about. So we'll find out. But yeah, Max Clare, I was just looking at ESPN. Bodie had this in the prep the other day. They had their list of top 5 draft prospects at every position in college football heading into the season. This is all the NFL guys who are just doing their early research on it, and they have Max Clare on the list of top 5 tight ends in college football, that could go to the NFL next year and be a big deal. So, yeah, they also, I want to say Carnell Tate was also on that list, top 5 guys, which, they're talking about for 2026 draft. Jeremiah Smith is number 1 on that list, but he's not eligible. But still, to see him in the top 5 for Carnell Tate, that's all the eyeballs are on these guys.
Yeah.
You're not going to be short of opportunities. You're not going to be short of people looking at you and saying, I think that guy's good. Now you got to go out and prove it. And the offense obviously has to deliver. And that's why the quarterback position is so much pressure on it, because it's not just the season that you're in. It's you got all these guys' careers that they want to go and get drafted. And if they're not getting the ball, that's going to come back to you. So,
well, I think that, the quarterback being a young guy, I think he knows that. He kind of knows. For JJ, JJ is just get the ball in the area. He's going to make a play. For the rest of those guys, they have to really focus on having a skill set that's going to translate to the NFL. The reason I say that is because when you're on a really good stacked team, you can fall victim to the fact that a scout will look at you and say, the only reason you benefited is because of that guy.
Right.
They can say, Carnell Tate, you're not that good of a wide receiver, but the only reason you had a good season is because the defense was worried about Jeremiah Smith.
Right.
So what you have to do is you have to make it it doesn't matter if I have Jeremiah Smith or not. I have to be out there running great routes. I have to catch the ball efficiently. I have to have good speed. So scouts will look at that and say, that guy is good no matter who's he's playing with. And that's what a lot of the focus has to be for some of these guys, is that their skill set has to be able to transfer to the NFL.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what this offense looks like. I don't doubt that it'll be good. But, of course, at Ohio State, it's not about being good. It's about being great. Because the expectations are you're the defending national champs now. Can you go out and do it again? Not, that'll be all right if we just have a decent season.
It's hard to do it back to back.
Of course it is.
It's hard. It's because you got to stay focused. The press clippings comes out. Everybody tells you you're great. And you'll always know by how the offseason goes. Was everybody locked in this offseason? Was everybody you know what? I'm going to skip that rep to this time. Was it any of that? Because if that's the case.
Everything you're hearing coming out of the Woody is it's great. They're all locked in. But, of course, what are the coaches? I wouldn't say that Ryan is going to lie about it, but it just wouldn't be coming up.
Let me ask you this. In 2015, if they asked you, how's everything at the Woody, they'd have told you, it's great. Not everybody going to SP Awards and skipping workouts and going to All-Star Weekend. You didn't hear about none of that, did you? So
No,
So you know what?
It was great then,
The great thing about the game of football, you can't fake it. It ain't no cheat in the game. You will know. You will find out when they kick their fall off.
I know that's the problem is we're in June and not in September when we want to find out and start to see it. I guess you really don't find out till January anyway. You know what I mean?
Because
November. There's a couple games there that kind of matter.
Well, they say they said. Well, it used to be. I don't know if that still is the thing. November was the most important part of a season.
No, I'm just saying. There's one game in November that I think matters a ton.
It's still
I know it does, but there's some Buckeye fans who are like, well, it doesn't matter. Beat them, don't beat them.
No,
Win the
I
national
don't think
championship,
there's
I don't care.
no one Buckeye fan that's saying that.
Well, you're not in my DMs, apparently, because that's what I'm getting
There's
on Twitter.
no
I'm just hearing
way
people
that
like,
there is
shut up! We won a national championship. Who cares about meeting Michigan?
There's
I'm like,
no
I think
one
you can do
fan
both.
that will say that game don't matter.
I hope not. Antonio Brown is in trouble, but he also may not be in the country. So that seems like a problem, at least for the authorities trying to catch him. Talk about it next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Tuesday. Still noticing some major slowdowns as even more people head out the door this morning. Taking a closer look at folks over on the west side, of course, we're noticing some slower drive times, 70 eastbound heading into the city. Of course, we do have some ongoing construction out there. Crews are on scene, so make sure to take it nice and slow for them. Other than that, looking for folks over on the southeast side, Canal Winchester, Pickering, your commute, of course, looking a little bit slower than usual. We got 21 miles per hour, depending on where you're coming from, on 33 westbound. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Empower. Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money. So he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Scotty Vegas here. We all know that summer's the easiest season for weight loss. Warm weather, lighter meals, being outside. Our bodies are primed to succeed, and Awaken 180 has your game plan. Reach your goals this summer with Awaken 180, the official weight loss program of summer.
Sometimes I hear a sparkling sound.
Like when we say, all you have to do is point?
There it is.
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Both of these men played sports in high school. Only one of them was good at it. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
You can join us Friday night for the Blue Jackets draft special on the Fan. Bob McElligott, Dylan Tyre, they will be live from Nationwide Arena as the Jackets look to add some exciting new talent to the lineup. It all starts Friday at 6 p.m. The Blue Jackets draft special, sponsored by Ohio Health, only on the Fan, Ohio's sports destination. So, yeah, the Jackets have 2 first-round picks, and by all accounts, they're going to be super active around this time, right? Not just the draft, but free agency, everything else. They've got cap space, they've got picks, they've got prospects, they've got a good young core of guys that they want to build around and start going right now. Everybody from Elliott Friedman on down, all the guys you read about in the NHL, all the people who do all the prognosticating, they all say, watch out for the Jackets. They're going to be big players. So I hope they're not wrong.
I hope that it will be exciting. Yeah, get somebody in there that's like, all right, this guy's going to be the big difference maker. Like that'd be.
They need to make some moves, and I think we could get with the right moves. You could take this team from not just being borderline playoff like they were this year. You could take them to being a contender, at least for the conference. Yeah. I'm not saying they'll go on and win the Stanley Cup in the next year or two. I'm saying if you make the right moves.
Not saying that.
I'm saying if you take this offseason is so critical, Bodie. If they get the right. You need to add another guy on the wing who can actually like score for you. You need to fix. I know they don't want to fix the goaltending. I know they're. I don't know what they're going to do with goaltending, but I think there's a chance you see someone moved and maybe they go out and get a real goaltender, or they believe in Jet Greaves. I don't know, but if they make a couple of right moves, get some veterans in here who don't upset the chemistry, all that stuff. Watch out for this Jackets team. But they've got what I'm saying is they've got all the assets needed to make all the moves that they want to do. Now, if they can get other teams to play ball, that's going to be the ultimate test. But this front office, I believe in. I think they're doing a good job. So we're going to see what they get to do over the next few weeks. I am excited for that. I'm excited for the draft on Friday night. All of it right here on The Fan. One other quick Jackets thing, and then we'll get into the Antonio Brown stuff. Today, the 25th anniversary. This is the 25th season of Blue Jackets hockey. This is the 25th anniversary of the expansion draft that brought in some of the names that started off the Blue Jackets franchise. Like Jeff Sanderson, who led the team in scoring that year, was an expansion draft pick. So, like, that was the start. 25 years ago today was when we found out some of the names on the inaugural Jackets team. So, kind of a big day in Jackets history going back to it. So, nice to see. I saw that Jeff Svoboda had a nice write-up on that. BlueJackets.com. Go check it out if you want to reminisce about some of the guys. And then maybe try to forget about the draft where they actually picked Rusty Klesla, and that was not as good of a pick. Didn't like that pick. He didn't work out.
You think it was a bust?
He was a bust. Rostislav Klesla.
Well,
didn't get the job done.
You were talking about the Jackets making moves. I was thinking about. Remember, I was looking up the free agents of this upcoming season. I told you a lot of them was the Florida Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't resign a lot of those guys, it kind of makes it open.
Oh, of course.
It opens things up a little bit. So
look, the reality is the Jackets have now a respected front office and a coach that I think a lot of guys would say, I wouldn't mind playing for that guy, in Dean Evison.
Mm.
You have a talent in Zach Werenski that's there that you know has got the leadership on him. You've got Boone Jenner, who's the established captain, but the future's there with Zach Werenski too. You have Adam Fantilli, who you know is an up-and-coming stud.
Mm.
You got a lot of young guys like him that can also, depending on how they progress, could all be stars in their own right. That's the right mix for a veteran. If I'm looking to go have a big role, have a leadership role, make a lot of money, and go play playoff hockey. Like, all those things are on the table for you with the Blue Jackets. So I'm not trying to, like, be there, I'm not trying to sell the Jackets to these free agents. I think the Jackets are doing that too.
Exactly what you just did.
What am I missing? Like, this is the place for you. You know what? Open for business. Let's go. And by the way, if you're a Jackets fan who wants them to hang on to every prospect and never trade a pick, then you're probably not going to agree with me, because I am much more on the line of, let's do some of that now. Let's trade some picks and prospects and get some dudes who can play right now, not 3 years from now, and keep rebuilding and always rebuilding. I want to go see a winner.
Sounds like you're taking the Andrew Berry and the Rams approach. Bleep them picks.
A little bit. Well, especially when they've had so many of them now, and they've done a good job with some of that. The talent has been there. Now it's executing the next phase of it, which is building with some of that talent and going out and getting some studs. All right, Antonio Brown is apparently not in the country. If you remember, this was, maybe a couple weeks ago now, where news broke of a warrant.
I feel like that was last week.
Out for his arrest. Yeah, it was a week or two, whatever it was. This was all going back to, was it Florida where this was? The concert?
I can't remember.
Whatever state it was, there was outside of a concert, there was a bunch of people running around. Antonio Brown kind of claimed that he was jumped by some of these people. Then you see him running, and what appears to be him in a video grabbing his waistband. The next thing you know, you hear gunshots. And so police apparently have looked at this video and wanted to arrest him for attempted murder with a firearm. That's a heavy charge.
Yes, it is.
He tweeted out on Saturday, I'm out of the country. Ain't no more child support. Tell your mom and get a job. Now, who knows if you can believe that or not. I find it hard to believe anyone would let him get on a plane, given that he has an open warrant for a significant crime. But then again, maybe it happened. If he got out of the country, that's no good. That's bad. Need to bring him in. Find out what's going on.
Well, I mean, you can't. What you want them to do? They can't cross over. They lose their jurisdiction. They can't. You ain't never seen the movie Blue Streak?
Oh, yeah, right.
where you can't cross the line. You just out of the border.
Can't do it. we have no extradition with Venezuela, right? Yeah, I mean, you can't do it.
Can't go there. So yeah, wow, smart guy, I guess.
I don't know. I wouldn't describe him as smart, but yeah, resourceful maybe is the way to look at that, I guess.
I wonder how he pulled this up, because you would think, like, when you go to, show your ID, it should pop up like boo 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 boo.
What is the point of all the crap we have to do at the airport if, like, you have an arrest warrant out for attempted murder and they're like, oh yeah, but no, Delta welcomes you on our flight. Please hop on in there.
Before he had the arrest warrant.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he left the country. You're right. He could have been there for a month. We don't know. But yeah, if he left after that came out, I have many questions about that.
I do too.
Because I have always believed the reason that I have to take my shoes off and I have to go through, is this your boarding pass, sir? And it's like, yes, I printed it. I have it on my phone. I have it everywhere. Here's my 9 forms of identification, again, to get on this plane. I have always believed that is because that system is meant to stop the criminals and the bad people who are doing things. All the above, terrorists, criminals, whatever. If now you're telling me that a guy could just leave the country while he's got an arrest warrant.
You got to do all that if you fly private.
No. Oh, no.
Maybe that's why maybe he flies private.
Tyvis, have you never flown private?
What I look like? Listen,
you played in the NFL. Is that not a private flight?
Is that considered a private flight?
What did you do when you went to the airport?
I just walked through the thing.
Did you go through TSA?
We had, I mean, not like the line or anything. Like, you had to go through metal detectors and things like that.
Yeah, but you're not like, was there a TSA agent there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But then you, it was your own terminal.
Yes.
And then you went out on the plane.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what flying private's like. There's no, baggage claim. There's none of that. I mean, they check to make sure you're not bringing a bomb on the plane. But, yeah, I mean, they kind of know who's coming.
You know you can't say that in the airport.
Yes, I know that. You don't want to say
that. I don't want you to be like Gaylord Fokker.
From Meet the Parents. Yes. Yeah, that's. We're just right up on that line today. And that's fine. That's where I like to live. That's good. No, I have flown private a couple times, and it must be nice. And from my recollection, it's been a long time. I'm trying to think. I mean, I did that.
You can't hide money, Tebow.
You know, it's funny. When I flew private, I worked for the company that paid me the least amount of money I've ever made professionally. They made up for it by having a couple private flights for us, I guess. But yes, I worked in radio at a company that I worked for. They flew us private a couple times, and it was quite a thing. But yeah, it's the weirdest thing is just walking out on the right out on the runway and be like, oh, this is our plane. And you parked your car outside of a building, walked 5 feet, and you're on the plane. That's a very different experience than going to the actual airport. And I will say, it is nice. I want to do that again. All right, Crosstalk and the Buzzer coming up next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Still noticing some major slowdowns out there, especially as more people head into the city. Taking a closer look at folks over on 70, both on the east side and the west side, looking a little bit slower this morning. Good morning to our folks over in Powell and Worthington. If you are making your way out the door, looking a little chaotic out there. 315 southbound got you at 43 miles per hour. Definitely a lot slower. 25 miles per hour on 23 northbound. Make sure to take it nice and easy on the roads this morning. I'm 10 TV's Brayden Albizu with your fan traffic.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
10 West Broad, Columbus. CordellCordell.com.
I'm an old school Joe. I never lay juice I don't want to lay. I don't hate my money like that. I'd rather lay minus 108 than minus 110, wouldn't you? Prime Sports is Ohio's full-time reduced juice sportsbook. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Our double hung is as good as it gets. There's something really simple. It's called an interlock. We interlock our windows. The interlock is the absolute best way to alleviate air infiltration. With the interlock, it's harder to break into. When you interlock the sashes, it makes a better window. It's just a darn good window, and we're very proud of it.
Call Rizzotti today at 777-4806.
Hollywood Casino Columbus is bringing the funny this summer. Tiffany Haddish takes the mic on Friday, July 18th with the Funny and Fearless Tour. Then Dion Cole Live hits the stage Friday, September 5th for a night of nonstop laughs. 2 comedy icons, 2 unforgettable nights. Get your friends, grab a drink, and get ready to laugh all night long. Big names, big laughs, only at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Visit HollywoodColumbus.com for more details. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
One of these guys still believes he can play in the NFL. It's Tebow. He says it's because of his low center of gravity. He's dumb. This is Bone and Tyvis.
Now joining us, 1/3 of Bishop and Friends, he is Eric Reeser.
Gentlemen,
how you doing, Reese?
Well, good morning.
1/3. Just wanted to.
I understand that. I am part of the show. It is correct. That statement is valid.
Tyvis, you're 1/3 of T-Bone and Tyvis.
Valid statements.
1/3. Yeah.
That's how it works. The producer's a part of it. The hosts are a part of it. Everybody's. It's one. You're
I'm just
1/3 of the
glad
show.
you and I see it the same.
The listeners are a part of it. They're the friends.
Yeah.
Baker and I just work there.
No. Now, Reeser, I had a question that popped in my head yesterday. I meant to ask you. By the way, before we do that, congrats on the 97.1 The Race.
Thank you.
You did a great job.
Congrats
with that.
to you as well.
It was
a team effort.
Yeah, we talked on Saturday. We were on the air. I had the last segment of our show we were doing on Saturday. I had to bow out because I'm standing there as we're talking, and all of a sudden I felt like I was going to throw up. And I think I realized after I got out to my car, it was because I had just walked in the heat. I had drank a bunch of water. I had no food in my stomach, which was a bad combo.
They had Jets Pizza there.
Yeah, they did. But then I immediately started talking to people as I am wont to do. And then by the time I went over to where the Jets Pizza was all like they were done with it. It was all gone.
Oh.
And so I didn't
That's
end
unfortunate.
up eating it.
I didn't get a piece either. I forgot that it was there, to be honest with you.
Well, and then Cam, who works here, he put a whole box of it up on our table while we were broadcasting. But by that point, my stomach had already started to go. And I was like, I don't know if I should try to eat anything now. So anyway, but Reese, you guys filled in. It was great to Like, that was a great show we did afterwards. It was a fun event. I can't wait to do it next year. It's gonna be a
if
blast.
it's going to be bigger and better than it was this year, that's saying something. And you were, I think, the second person I thought was going to get heat stroke on Saturday. Like, I ran past Adam King, and I'm like, that we might lose him today.
Oh, he ran in a suit.
If you're outside
was he
today,
really doing that, man?
he was sitting under a tree, covered in sweat.
Yeah, because he put the full suit on and sprinted out there, and I think, what was it, a mile in or something, was when he just kind of crashed for a minute and had to, like, recover.
I saw it very quickly.
He looked so good come finishing the race. So I was like, oh, you did that well. I didn't know.
He finished.
I didn't know
to
in
his
between
great credit, he made it all the way.
It was a break in between.
For a 5K. I think, it was, pushing 80 degrees outside. There was not a cloud in the sky.
Yeah.
And at some points on that route, you didn't have much shade, so you were running, getting baked by the sun. It was a bad choice.
Nice tan day.
But you know what?
Yeah, for me.
Give him credit for actually following through on the bid.
Yeah,
because
sure.
He brought it up. He's the one who suggested doing it. And then he went out there and didn't just say, oh, yeah, it's a suit. And it's actually like shorts and a T-shirt with a suit printed on it. Like, he wore an actual suit out there that you may have to burn now because it's so sweaty.
Probably.
Anyway.
What about dry cleaning?
The 4th is next Friday. Is your chair out there?
Not yet.
What? This is the latest?
Well, so I don't live on the parade or near the parade route anymore. So we're going to bike up
and then put it
to Northwest Boulevard.
You go bike up with your chair?
No, we're just going to bike.
And then stand there.
And just sit on the bike?
No, we're going to lock the bikes and we're going to walk and stand.
And watch the parade.
I've been of the mindset that at the day of, the parade route is for families and for elderly folk. They get their chairs on that parade route, and they get to sit at the I guess you call it the courtside seat.
Yes.
To a 4th of July parade. That's for them. I can stand off to the back.
You don't want to go
and
out.
See.
You don't want to run
fine.
out there and get no candy.
So I'm not 100% sure if they're doing that this year.
They don't throw candy no more?
Not all the time.
Some cities don't.
Some cities don't.
Why?
Some of them, you have to hand it because they don't want it to just be candy
And
everywhere.
I'm 34 years old. I'm not going to try to dunk over a kid to get a Tootsie Roll.
I am.
Well,
Tyvis, just go buy a bag of Tootsie Rolls at the store.
Well, they giving it away for free. Why would I do that? What sense?
Because it's like $5 and you played in the NFL. I don't know. That seems like a thing you could buy.
For me to buy it when they giving it away for free.
What's the point of having 18 jobs if you're not going to spend any of the money you make? You got to buy the candy every once in a while. Just buy your own candy.
What's your favorite candy? I don't think in 4 years I've ever asked you that.
Me, I'm a Reese's guy.
Okay. Tough to do in the summer.
Yeah, that's not
during
a good
parade.
summer candy.
Just gonna melt.
Yeah.
No good.
But like Jolly Ranchers, Bubblicious, Tootsie Rolls. Those are good, like, throwing out candies. Yeah. Okay. Well, so if you don't like it, then what are you making us?
It's only one person I know that like the yellow gum, double gum, double.
Sure.
Bubble. What
are you
is
talking
it?
about? The juicy? Are you talking about the juicy fruit?
No, it was
yellow gum.
It's the green. It's in the yellow packet with the blue tips. Double bubble.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, okay, so it's pink gum. Yes. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
the pink.
Okay.
It's only one person I know that loves that gum.
Who's that?
Pete Carroll. Oh my goodness, he used to chew that gum, and then like after the first quarter, he'd take the gum out and he'd fling it in the crowd. Throw another
he
piece
mashes that gum.
and it'd be hitting people.
Yeah. It's not as bad as when Thad Matta had it fall out of his mouth and he picked it up off the floor and started chewing it again, that was quite a sight.
He did that?
Oh, yeah. Multiple times they caught him on camera.
Must have still had some flavor to it.
Yeah, I guess so. That bubble gum, though, loses its flavor quick.
That's why he had like a whole pocket full of them. He take it and throw it in. He just throw it behind him without even looking. It'll fall to people in the crowd.
Reeser, I forgot to ask
Souvenir,
you about,
I guess, in some cities.
I guess so.
I got Pete Carroll's gum.
I was going to ask you about incarceration, but we got to talking. So maybe on maybe tomorrow, maybe I don't know,
next
Thursday,
time I'm
next
in
time
here,
you're
you let me
we'll talk
know
about
because I've thought about it.
I know. I'm thinking about it too.
Because the lineup's pretty dope.
Yeah, there's some great bands there. What do you guys have coming up on your lineup today?
Well, so this is, I think, leaning into another summer of Ellie De La Cruz. 2 years removed from hitting the cycle. He almost does it again last night. Mike Petraglia was there at the Great American Ballpark for that ass whooping by the Cincinnati Reds. It's Chase Burden's time in Cincinnati. I'm hoping that the Guardians make a similar Chase call-up, but Mike Petraglia will join us at 9:30. We'll have Dom on at 10:30. We'll do The Real Truth at 10 o'clock. And then the Blue Jackets. What kind of moves do we expect them to make come the NHL draft? They've got 2 picks in the first round, but are they going to use both of them?
Yeah. That's good. That's a big question. We'll find out. Or if they trade them, use them. I don't know. We got a lot of options for them. We were just talking about that.
Also, I don't know if you guys mentioned it this morning, but I don't think Ohio State's had an All-American tight end since 1970. What would it take to have that streak broken by Max Clare this fall?
Okay. Yeah, good stuff to chew on.
Had a little talk about Max Clare.
Yeah, we did.
You're a big fan of him, Tyvis.
I am.
Could be good. We're looking forward to it. 3 hours of Bishop and Friends next. T-Bone and Tyvis now. The buzzer. Let's do it.
Shove it down your throat.
It's time for the buzzer.
Sponsored by Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings in Dublin. AmishCountryFurnishings.com.
High school in the suburbs of New York City, Hempstead, New York, has 500 students graduating this year. 30 of those 500 are twins, which is it seems like a significant amount. 15 sets of twins in one high school graduating class. That's a lot. This is even more interesting to me. Long Island's Plainview Old Bethpage John F. Kennedy High School rolls right off the tongue. They have the 15 sets of twins. All of them are fraternal twins, so not identical. Not one set of the 15 twins look alike. Some of them are like boy-girl twins, and some of them are just, the same gender, but they don't look anything alike. So they all met at like a twins group when they were kids. Their parents would get them together, and now all these kids have known each other since like before they were even in kindergarten, and now they're all graduating. So they said it's like there's 30 of them, and they have this unique connection. I wonder what's going on Long Island for them to have that many sets of twins. It's very odd. They'd have someone look into that, right?
Isn't that like got to be in your family? Like,
I think so, and it jumps generations. They say. Anyway, 15 sets of twins in a high school. You guys have any twins that you knew growing up?
I knew some twins.
Yeah,
they were fraternal.
Oh, okay.
Boy, girl.
Yeah. You know any research?
No.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's not common to have 15 of them in one high school.
My best friend had twin brothers, and one name was John, the other one was Joe. I never knew the difference, so I called both of them Joe. I had a 50% chance of getting it right.
Sure, they love that. All right. It's Bishop and Friends next. T-Bone and Tyvis will be back tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday. It's The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Tuesday. Still looking pretty slow out there as more people head into work this morning. Looking at our time saver traffic map, we are noticing some yellow, oranges, and even reds in some congested areas. Of course, though, the big focus is going to be our folks over in the south part of our downtown area. 71 heading northbound at Greenlawn Avenue. Still looking a little bit slow out there. We did have a crash that cleared up over an hour ago, but again, we are still seeing those impacts this morning as more people head into the city. Your drive time is looking a lot slower than usual. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Get Eco.
Hey, Jerry, I think I invented something.
Does it solve a problem?
It solves a big problem.
Get Eco.
Heating and cooling companies are telling people your furnace and AC isn't worth fixing. You need to replace it with a whole new system.
You invented a solution for that?
I invented a way to fix those systems for free.
Get Eco.
That's a great invention. How does it work?
Step 1 is to pay Eco to fix it.
I thought you said you'd fix it for free.
Step 2 is that we give you back all the money that you paid us, up to $1,500 when you get Eco to replace it.
Get Eco.
What if your repair keeps my system running for several more years?
That would mean you got all those extra years for free.
Paying Eco to fix your AC system is like putting money in the bank.
Get Eco. Get Eco. Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Hey, it's Anthony. Comfort is king. We all strive for it, but life gets in the way. You know that. And oh, my aching feet is not just a cliche. That's why the Good Feet store, in my opinion, has the best arch support solutions engineered to help you and me live the life we love without pain. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. I'm a customer. I have their 3-step system put right into all my shoes. They support, balance, and strengthen my feet and really guide them right into their ideal position. Every step I take, every move I make, I get relief. Not from the song, although I love that, but from my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store. Your free fitting is designed to help them understand you, your pain, and your discomfort, your personalized system. You'll walk out wearing your new arch supports hassle-free and begin living the life you love without pain. The Good Feet Store on Stringtown Road in Grove City or Polaris Parkway. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Everybody today in America is trying to get healthy. I'm doing it, you're doing it. There's people out there everywhere. And most people, they don't feel good. And so when you don't feel good, what do? You go to the doctor, there's pills, there's steroids, there's surgery. You don't want to deal with any of that. You don't want to be put on the shelf. You don't want to put things in your body that you do not enjoy. So here's what you need to do. Go see my friends at QC Kinetics, just like I did. My body was beaten up, so was my dad's. We went to QC Kinetics. They're not into the quick fixes. They're going to go there and they're going to diagnose you and find regenerative treatments with your own body's healing power to help heal that damaged tissue. And so you're going to feel better. You're going to be able to do the things you'll love again, and that's perfect because it's summertime. So listen, they're going to go right to the source of it at the cellular level. So give them a call at 380-208-4544 or go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. They have offices all over Ohio, so go check them out today.
When you join the plus side with AAA, that's all you'll have to do. Or you could learn to change your own tire.
Hey fam, what's up? Today I'm gonna teach you to change a flat. Before we start, make sure it's not raining, or hailing, or lightning.
You can have AAA find you the right insurance policy, or you can shop for your own.
Hello?
I'm with Mega Insure. You requested a quote?
Yes, 3 months ago.
You could have our travel advisors plan your dream vacation, or book your own travel.
Woo! Panama City Beach, spring break.
I thought you said we were going to Panama.
Wait, there's a difference?
Skip the hard work. On the plus side, get more with AAA. Go to AAA.com/plus side.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Smalls here. It's time to turn things up a notch. This summer, don't binge watch shows. Binge s'mores by the campfire. Press pause on the podcast and press play on the warm weather vibes. Here's your chance to win $10,000 for your ultimate summer. What are you waiting for? Take your shot with 5-Hour Energy and make this summer your best summer ever. Visit 5heshot.com for full details and rules and enter today. No purchase necessary. Ends June 30th, 2025.